Hello.
3.
We're good to go?
Mm-hmm.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Final Fantasy Pathfinder. Final Fantasy and its subsidiaries are owned by Square Enix. The Pathfinder D20 game system is owned by Paizo, and the FFD20 system is a fan-made system designed by Alan Willig. Completely non-profit. Gonna have fun. It'll be great.
Mm-hmm.
So much fun.
Well, and we're back for another episode. This is the second half of our session tonight here. Koke has just taken a big old bite of a big old wet god. There appears to be some sort of barricade forming around it. She has landed on shore and is being closed in on. The rest of the party has taken the boat the rest of the way around the coast and is landing down in the wharf. In the timeline, about an hour and a half plus from where Koke is right now. Koke, you are sprawled out on the coastline. You're sprawled out on the coastline, and it looks like there's things closing in on you. What are you doing?
Where am I on the map right now?
You are right here. I'll give you a pin. Give you a little pin here. No,
Thank you.
little pin. You are here.
What type of footfall is it? Does it sound armored? Is there lots of metal coming?
It doesn't sound like an armored foot. It sounds like a booted foot, though you do hear the clang of like lots of clasps, and it sounds like it is someone who's wearing armor, though it's not full plate.
Okay. I'm just gonna stay there. I'm gonna quieten down. I'm gonna contain myself. Playing out. I'm a bit lost. As I shout to whoever's coming to me.
As you shout out to them, they kind of stop. Stay right there.
Okay.
We're coming around to. They kind of start stopping the way around, which as they start zigzagging down the sort of rocky face that they're kind of up on the hill of, you feel a slight rumble underfoot. And you guys still on the boat feel it a little bit later, but you also feel like a rumble, like another wave is coming or something. And then the rumble grows and it grows and it grows and it grows and it grows. And just as these guys are arriving at you, it feels like an earthquake. Like a high category earthquake.
Shit. Whoa.
And they're sitting there looking. Get away from the rocks. Lay down. It's better to stay in the water. Like they look to be in a bit of a panic. And right when it feels like it should be dying down, it just gets worse. You hear screaming coming from the city around you. Even the people out on the boat, a quarter mile out in the ocean, can hear the terrible shrieking and crumbling of stone.
Is there any sort of thing I can think about as to why this would be happening?
Go ahead and make a knowledge, arcana, knowledge, religion, maybe. Either of those would work.
Arcana or religion.
Mm-hmm.
Can any of us make this, or just her?
You can make that too. As you all also are watching out on the city, it's just like... Koke, Nell, Tyro. None of you have any idea what this could be.
Holy shit.
Oh,
Even with the 27. After a few moments of a terrible earthquake, it calms slowly back down and stops.
I think it's over.
Yeah, I believe so. Who are you? You can't be back here right now.
I was on a boat when it attacked. I'm a bit lost.
Where's your boat? He kind of like looks out into the water.
It carried on. I'm
Oh,
on my own right now. Hi.
okay.
I need some directions. If my boat was going, and I just kind of like point in the down my point. If it
Oof.
was going that way, where would the closest like port be? Because I've got people that might be worried.
They would certainly be going to dock in at the wharf. That's where all new
Alright.
boats head off
You
to.
think you could give me directions?
Absolutely. We're gonna have to take a minute here and kind of check you out, if you would.
Alright, fair enough. Stand up.
They kind of look at you. They look
Hello.
over your face. These horns, are these natural?
Yes. I'm an aura from the primal step. Hello.
An hour from the primal step. Okay. That's quite a long way from home. Any good at magic? Little Miss Aura from the primal step?
I know some magic, yeah.
Alright. Any inkling to tell us what kind?
I can heal.
You can heal.
Hearing the gear move.
Yeah.
He's gonna try to sense motive on you and to size you up.
I can heal.
You can heal, yeah. Technically a truth. Ooh.
Technically, but he's seeing if you're withholding information.
Yeah,
sense.
but still, there's still a deception by omission here.
I can heal just 90 points of damage in a round.
Uh-huh. How about this? We go on a quick little walk here. We swing by my captain's post real quick, and then we take you right on back to Ursa Mora, and we check to see what they think about you. Just because I've got a hunch. Is that okay?
I guess.
Alright.
But, like, I really need to make sure that they know that I'm okay. Cause...
We'll send a messenger to the wharf. Don't worry. We'll see if any new ships are coming in.
Okay.
Come on. And he guides you probably 15 minutes away, and you find a makeshift tent has been set up. Probably 100 yards, 150 yards away from this beast, but further down into the city. Not that far. Like, here-ish. The guy stops for a second. He checks in with a somewhat flashier-looking man behind this desk. They talk for a little bit. You hear like a strange exchange of words. You hear something about an Apex Industries. You hear something about another one from the Mage Wars.
Okay.
They stop for a minute. All right, we'll bring you back, and we're gonna see how your story does. Just take 20 minutes.
Okay.
And they march you right on around. You meet up with a main road right here, and they start walking you through Moonbright. On one side of the road, as you walk through, on your left, you see brown wood laced with sort of like stamped runes. They look to be decorative, like that they aren't actually doing any sort of magic, as you just at a cursory glance pick up on. Like, these look like an art project. And on your right side, you see some of the buildings are capped with spinning gears or vacuumous intakes. It's all very strange. They continue to walk you down the thing. It's fucking
So,
like a mile.
like, where
Yeah.
are we? I've never been to Moonbright before.
Never been to Moonbright. Okay. Off to our right is campus of Moontech. Off to our left is Ursamora, the Mage College.
Oh.
Right, what we're walking right next to is the Blue Quarter, which is where my little line of questioning is going to come on when we get to the headmaster.
Okay.
The rest of the traversal passes. You eventually arrive at a corner, like, administrative structure. The guy knocks on the door. A person greets him, lets the two of you in. They plop you down at a table, and they start going through a student roster. That's right there in front of you, paging through. It takes probably 15 minutes for them to go through it. And if you wanted to make perception checks to kind of to gander anything about this book as they of the student population as they pass through it, they eventually
Just
close
my
the last
perception.
page. Yeah, you glance through, you see a lot of whom's, you see a lot of Numu. You see maybe even an aura or two in there. Like, you see a weirdly diverse selection of faces.
That's good.
And you see the borders around each portrait is bordered in a color. You see most of them are either blue, red, or black. A good chunk of them being red, and a good chunk of them being blue, and a few of them being black. And you swear you catch like one or two of them that are bordered in white.
Hmm.
They close the
I
last
think
page.
I can assume I know what those mean.
They look at you. She's not a student here. It's not. She really just, looks. I know. Okay. He kind of straightens himself a little bit. My apologies, miss. I thought you might have been another one of those, he kind of like points over his shoulder, trying to sneak over to catch a glimpse of that thing.
I imagine it's causing quite a stir.
I should say so. Especially right now, with Mage War going on. A lot of students trying to sneak over the border to catch a glimpse of that thing. Especially, kind of like looks at you with like a finger. Maybe one of those blue mages. One of those ones that can maybe learn something from it.
Is it because of the scales?
It's
I assure you, all of my kind have blue scales. It's just a thing that we do. It's
I've seen a couple hour before. Usually they don't have the whole kind of circles your head with his finger thing, especially on the girls, but
yeah, it's a tribal thing from the steppe. With bloodlines, you know how it can be.
my apologies for doubting you, but I believe you here.
What did I
I
miss?
really must.
Koke got caught in the area around the Leviathan. She was carted back to Ursamora, where they checked her against the ledger of students because they suspected she might have been a blue mage that had snuck over the protection line to go and get a glimpse of
Keyword
this
being
thing.
suspected.
They
Past tense.
they looked through it. She was not a student there. She must be from out of town. I guess her story checks out, and they're about to let her go.
I really need directions to, what did you call it, the wharf?
Yeah.
There's a boat with my companions on, and they're probably really worried.
We'll walk you over
drenched.
there. We sent a messenger from the camp. It's we'll see you there. All there. And he kind of walks to the door and kind of leads you to the exit.
Okay.
And he starts fucking walking you over.
Yep.
A ways.
What time is it anyway?
At this point, it is nighttime. It's the tail end of dusk because you're rendezvousing with the timeline from them.
Did you say something about a war?
Yeah. Here, and he gestures down the street to your south. Well, not to your south east, and he gestures to the street to your northeast. If we head southeast, we can go around it and sweep through the commons. If we go northeast, we might be able to catch a glimpse through the middle of it. You could see what it's about. It's really something if you're from out of town.
I must admit, I'm kind of curious, but I really need to meet with my companion.
All right, we'll stay out of it. There, and he walks through. You probably get as far as the commons before the 2 hours that you were ahead of them has elapsed, and we cut back to the wharf as you guys pull into one of the docks.
Okay.
Just on the tip of one of them, in one of the tiny little slots. Ships lined up in front of you, ships lined up behind you, next row. Just so many boats of various sizes. And you and your little teeny dinghy seem to have your own little parking space.
Why do I hear battle noises?
I don't know.
It's the ambience.
It's part of the ambience,
has.
and is actually a little bit uncanny.
Also, I want to clarify something. As a level 6 avatar, I'm still a medium. I don't get large till next level.
The little medium lizard.
I'm just a miniature.
Miniature snake.
The little medium leviathan like coiled up and sticking
And
up and
I
like,
think-
out just like fear me.
And in a twist of probably the most brilliant of fates, says I do believe I'm a Final Fantasy 15 Leviathan because I'm female, a bitch, and eat things.
Wonderful. Now for the boring boss fight.
Oh,
I actually like that boss fight.
It's
Nah,
not going
I
to be
hated
boring
it.
when with me behind the wheel. You saw what I did with the koal.
As you guys step out, onto the dock, and he kind of throws you up like, "Here, tie this off, can you?" Kind of like tosses it over to somewhere between Eleanor and Chef because you two look beefy.
yeah, I got it.
Eleanor catches it and ties it off as you all kind of come ashore. A Moogle floats, little winged creature
Oh no.
floats a couple of feet over to you
Is Shiv
guys.
trying to resist the urge to punch it? Sorry, Final Fantasy 14.
He looks over all you. We found a small blue lady, Kupo. Would she happen to be with your group, little Kupo?
Did he have horns?
Indeed she did. And they kind of like he reaches around and he's got like this little panel that's attached to a little cable that attaches to a big old backpack on his back, and he's like just looking at this little panel. Yeah, horns, yes. And he turns the panel around and it's Koke right there on the little image.
Yep, that's her.
Well, they're
Just rubs his temples. Like, oh, dear
they're
God.
bringing her this way right now. You could wait here, or you could head somewhere off, and I could let them know where you're going, Koopa.
Would Chef know of a place that they could stay, perhaps in the history geology region?
There she would, yeah, no, it's a fucking it's a big city. There's plenty of inns in that area.
Then Chef is going to tell Koke to go there,
Okay.
whatever that street address is.
We'll instruct them to head off in that direction then. Right away. And he kind of
Flies
Koopa. And he floats off down the dock, still faffing away with his little panel.
Good news, everyone! I'm not arrested.
This time.
And yeah, since nobody in the group really, I don't think Chef has actually mentioned that they're from here to anyone. Chef has just spouted off a very specific address
Yeah.
to this movie.
Yeah, so she's just gonna. You've
Yeah.
been here, you've been here before then, Chef.
Nod.
Fair enough.
Well, if that's the case. Let's just head to the inn that you mentioned. I could definitely go for some sleep. I've got things to do tomorrow as it is.
Right. Vise, please keep your cloak up while we're in town.
And Vise looks at you and, yeah, sure, here. And she flips it up right over her little ears. The little ears kind of whipping back behind the cloak, hiding that telltale pale white ear tips from the Lolan royalty.
Thank you for the ride, Captain.
Anytime. You paid for it.
Yeah.
I'll be here for the night, and then I'll set out again tomorrow. It's
Right.
a living.
By the way, where were we to go to pick up the aether fuel?
Flashing back to Lolan. Now, when you get to Lolan, you're gonna want to go. When you get to Moonbright, you're gonna want to go straight to Moontech. You're gonna want to go to the student union building there, and they'll have it waiting for you.
Okay.
Well,
Let's
this is
hope.
like 2 blocks where I'm planning on going. So.
Let's hope that the student union isn't one of those black smoking wrecks.
Yeah. Okay.
That's technically Ursa Mora's student union.
Okay, so over there. Okay.
Okay.
It's their student union is in this big weird
Okay. Not
squiggly
in
building.
not in Leviathan hugging range.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
so yeah,
it's-
down there.
Yeah, that
Okay.
build. It's in that complex, which is roughly the size of like a mall, by the way.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Just gonna put a bip here.
And he sort of everyone puts a little mark.
You'll be here.
Everyone puts a little marks it down on their map.
Fuel be.
I've marked it down on your map. There's a settlement that needs your help.
Take
Alright.
town. You have to break all 4 chains in the room. I'll mark them on your map.
You must break them within 8 seconds, so you'll have to do it all over again.
Do your problem-solving skills justice by using all of them. If people haven't seen that video, The Begun of Tigtone. It's a very specific kind of comedy that you're either going to be completely into or completely lost on.
It's a journey.
Yeah.
Speaking of journeys,
Yeah, we have a place to head to.
Which, as you guys depart onto the docks in your party blob, moving past a lot of other sort of sailor-looking guys, sort of beefy guys, some guys are just walking without shirts. A lot of guys that remind you in a lot of ways of Prince Roderick back in Lolan, those sort of craftsman-y,
Damn.
heavy-set
bit
guys.
like trees.
Built like trees dudes. You also see a lot of other races around, especially down here on the wharf. You see a lot of Numu, just big ol' slow, wandering around, placing orders with people. And you notice there's eating establishments. It's all very commercial, you know. You find tackle shops and fishing shops and restaurants and small inns even, right here on the wharf. But you are being led on around the corner and down the alleyway here. Meanwhile, Koke, the man you're walking with, he's walking. A small Kupo comes out of an alleyway next. Small.
You mean a Moogle?
Moogle. Fucking
Close enough.
Christ.
Close enough.
Yeah, a small Moogle comes out of the alleyway, floats right up
Would
to
this
you.
be the first time I've ever seen a Moogle?
Yes, this would absolutely be the first time you've ever seen a Moogle.
I'm enamored.
It floats up to you. The guard stops, looks at it. Yes. I found.
I do a little bit like that. Whoa.
It's a marshmallow with wings.
Do you know any magic I could perhaps taste?
Should I eat this thing?
Not while someone's with me.
Yeah.
But are there more like this?
He
Think
looks
of how
at
many
it.
girls I could pick up if I was cute and fluffy.
Oh, Jesus Christ. We have located the group she was with, the boat coming into dock, Koopa.
Huh, they made it.
They are on their way to a inn on for 4723 Shinbone Avenue. I don't know.
That sounds like Chef.
It's a small place, just over in the Commons, in the crux behind the University of Northern Moonbright. It's like, yeah, I know, thank you. Yep, thank you, Koopa. And he floats away.
What's that? What was that?
That was a Moogle. Ever seen a Moogle before?
No.
Well, they're a great little people.
Yeah. Are there more of them?
Of course. There's thousands of Moogles, even just the city. They're all over the place.
Huh.
Damn it.
Like, after, like, as you guys, like, walk, he kind of, like, stops and glances around, and he points somewhat south in the Commons Plaza. Look, there's one! And you see another Moogle floating by, just passing by people, just in the crowd. And
Okay.
points another, there's one over there! And you see another Moogle. Again, this one has one of those packs with a little screen on
Okay.
it, floating around
Right.
its little wings.
No, I've just I've not long been out of the step where there's mostly just my people. So seeing all sorts of things, it's an adventure.
Well, if all you've seen is makes another finger circle around your face, and I guess Whooms or whatever's out there. I'm
I've
not
seen
from there.
Vera and
Oh, that's fun. There's some Vera here too, and we hail from great diversity.
I can see that.
And he kind of points out across the plaza right over there. You see a Ronso walk by, big ol'.
Huh.
Just what?
Moves past. And by the way, as you're crossing this plaza, you look, and this in the center of the plaza is a pillar, stretching taller than any building in the city, probably almost like 700 feet tall, like Eiffel
What's
Tower,
that?
Eiffel Tower height, and that's Basalt Pillar 1. And you look at the foundation of it, like where the cobblestones meet with it, it is sundered in a radial pattern away from it. Looks like something's happened here. There.
Was it always there?
The pillar?
No, the obvious damage.
No. That's new today. I came through here this morning.
The earthquake.
I would imagine, so that's the only I could imagine this would be. I mean,
But
just weird.
do I know enough about this sort of stuff to obviously see that this isn't just earthquake damage. Something has clearly happened here.
I should say you could clearly see that there's something that has happened here.
Is it taller or shorter than it used to be?
Looks up. Same height, I think. I mean, when it's that tall, I mean, you can't really tell.
I mean, the problem therein lies in if it's been sorted in such a way that it looks like it's coming out of a radius from it, then if it's lifted or if it's sank, that's two completely different problems. Both of them involve holes.
Got a problem with holes, do you, Missy?
Well, not me, but if there's a hole and your foundation's unstable, then that can lead to a lot of problems.
Moonbright is a very, very old city.
So
Older even than a lot of this, and he kind of waves around with his arms. I don't think it's going anywhere.
okay.
And you continue your walk. Party, you continue your walk down from the docks. You continue to pass by restaurants, housing. You notice a lot of stuff that'll have a some sort of commercial establishment on the bottom floor, and then an upper floor just looks like apartments. People, waving things out windows, beating rugs and stuff. And you watch as it transitions from sort of not shanty town, but kind of seaside fishing kind of town look into marble columns and brick facades and stone. And after a short bit of walking, you guys arrive in the plaza in front of University of Northern Moonbright. You pass by the mathematics building, pass by their student union, pass by the cafeteria. Eventually, you turn the corner into an alleyway, and you find a large inn right around that area. Looks like a huge thing. Looks like more like not apartments, but more like dorms than an inn. In truth, stacking up from the first floor. Though when you walk in the bottom floor, it has the appearance of what you would expect out of an inn. As the restaurant, the bar area, the tables, the smell, the smoke, just goes higher. Just more space for bodies. Almost around the exact same time, in the distances that you guys traversed, Koke arrives at the same building, rounding the same corner.
Is this guy still with me?
Yeah, he's still walking with you. Walked you the whole way there. And he kind of gets up to the front door and he points inside. Here's where your friend's message told me they were going. Again, sorry for the hassle. I know you're from out of town. We're in a little bit of a stressed moment right now.
It's understandable. Thank you for the help. I really appreciate it.
Well, just doing my job. And he kind of gives you a little salute, and he walks off.
All right. Okay. I'm not gonna get this past everybody else, but let's see what goes. And I walk in.
Okay. Party, you've arrived about 8 seconds ago. When behind you, you hear a laugh from the door, and then Koke walk in.
Oh, so there you
Old
are.
arms.
Yes,
She's
here I am.
just
Hi.
resting just resting her hand on her hilt.
I'm alive. I'm doing well. I can see that you all made it here fine too. Obviously, I got the message from the movie. Have you seen them? They're like... And she just starts doing little box motions with her hands Anyway.
I can speak their language.
You will have to teach me, maybe.
I refuse.
That's fair. That's
Definitely gains
fair.
5 points from Tiro.
You just see a bunch of just everyone approves.
Yeah.
Did you guys... everything okay with you guys? With the earthquake and everything?
It rocked the boat a little bit, but yeah, we're okay.
Okay. Good. Alright, I'm tired. I want to get some sleep.
Well, we
Yes.
definitely know you're not hungry.
Thankfully, I guess Chef has been here before. This is a nice place, by the way.
And it is a nice place. From the perspective of someone familiar with Magitech, it's kind of par for the norm. For someone who is not used to an entire building with electric lighting and the modern conveniences of a building.
Yeah,
this
it's
is
fluorescent.
fucking
It's like fluorescent
luxury.
lighting and It's probably somewhere half between medieval and modern, like
Yeah.
Oh, I had something to
closer
say.
to modern.
I had something to say. What was it? It's on the tip of my tongue. You, Diro,
Yes.
be careful. There's some kind of mage war going on. I didn't see it up close, and I don't know what anything is about, but it seems like it's an ordeal that's happening right now. So just be wary.
Where on earth did you hear about Age of War from?
Oh, they dragged me into some kind of like principal's office of some kind to see if I was a student or not, and obviously not a student. But they were talking about some kind of mage war, and we had to cut across. Well, we didn't cut across anywhere, but we could have gone to see what was going on. But I decided, no, maybe not. I just want to get here.
It's kind of weird. I mean, why would they say, "Oh yeah, we can bring you through there"?
I'm
although
not
this is
sure.
going
I'm
on?
not sure if it's like a. I'm not sure if it's kind of like the war that we're used to back, I guess, home, and
Would-
more of a competition between mage schools here. But
Would Nell or Chef know?
Chef would know. Nell, you could make a knowledge.
I'm just saying that he's received letters from
That
like our
sounds like-
uncle, so don't know if
That's
he
that's
would.
true. Oh yeah, no. If you get letters from your uncle, you would absolutely know exactly what this is.
Okay.
Oh, that's a
So-
good point.
So can the human
Um,
get a plot dump here?
Chef and Nell, you know that the Mage Wars is an annual competition held from Fridusk, the second Fridusk of Fallen Leaf, to Dawn of Mark Dawn, on the 11th of Fallen Leaf, just kind of like the weekend. And it's a competition between the three different schools there, blue, red, and black, to sort of play magic war with each other as sort of a practical field test of their abilities. It's very
a non-lethal weekend dick waggling contest.
and just like that, my day has turned into utter disappointment. Oh, never mind then.
Realize it was so close. Great.
Oh, might as well get food. I'm kind of hungry. And, beds. Rooms. That'd be nice.
Right.
Did anyone else in the inn like hang out like in the common room area, or just us?
yeah, no, it's the full-on inexperience, which, based on the sort of pseudo medieval appearance of it all, it might as well be plastered with the sign "genuine inexperience." Like,
Hang on. I look into the corners of the shady individuals.
there are shady individuals.
Okay, I believe it.
All right. If we know where Chef's going, if there's an open corner.
Yeah.
So you get the impression some of
Meanwhile,
the shady
Tyler,
individuals may be
Go
physics
to the counter
professors.
to pay for a room and get whatever's on special for food and a tankard of ale, because Lord knows he needs it.
He quickly sets up a tankard of ale, big old tankard, sets up a plate, and then he pulls out a book and it's leafing through it. That'll be 3 gil for the meal. How long do you plan on staying? Can we pencil you in for a 6-month lease or
Jesus.
Honestly, I can't foresee being more than maybe a week, maybe at most.
shortest lease we do is 2 months.
Wait a minute. I wouldn't have, unless this place has changed.
It's you never did have to stay here, but this is the convention in this city. This is just how these inns operate. No one is here for a week.
How much is it for the 2 months?
By room, each room has 2 beds, each twins. It'll be 5 gil a room for the 2 month
What was that?
span.
5 gil a room for 2 months.
Damn. It's not bad.
That's an extra gil a
8
room
gil
if you have any pets.
On the table.
Oh, thank you.
I'll take
How
the
large
2
are
months.
pets?
Hmm?
How large of pets are we talking?
And he kind of like holds up with a hand that like the kind of maximum is, and he kind of like makes like a kind of a bear hug. Large dog maybe. It's kind of as big as we allow. But any pet, for instance, if you maybe have a pet owl or even some sort of mage familiar, those all count.
My my familiar just like pops out of the
Nah,
backpack and just rests on my shoulder. It's like,
nah.
well, I think he's small enough that it won't really matter.
He's a very small, very cute little bird.
Yeah.
Can't imagine
we
he'd
have a much
make
big-
very much of a mess, but I would like to ask for that gil though anyway.
That's fair.
we have a much larger pet. bird.
Was there a
Yeah.
stable outside? Yeah.
There is a stable on the corner next to this building.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's where Echo's going.
Oh, is Trick still
Echo,
with us?
you there?
I didn't check in after the break, but
Hello?
I had my suspicions. Oh,
Yeah,
Oh.
that's
yeah, no, I heard it.
Oh.
I heard the
Alright.
I heard that.
We'll
I
turn back
heard
on the
that.
auto burp then.
Auto burb.
couch.
Yeah, on the couch.
Oh, and
How precious. That's just perfect timing. Trig, you there?
Gets to the end, I think he's already asleep. It's like, alright, it's
Oh,
it's been a
Okay.
long day on Aria.
that it is. Buddy, Megalodon.
So, are we splitting up rooms, or is everyone? How are we doing
It's
this, people?
I think we're doing
two beds
two
a room.
beds.
So who
Chef's
wants to
taking
do?
their own.
I
Taking their own.
throw. How much? It's 5 for the 2 months. 5 go for the 2 months
Trying to remember what I said.
per room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was,
7 for me because
was-
of my familiar.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I'm gonna
6 for
throw.
me.
I throw.
Yeah,
I
6
throw
for
on
you.
10.
Okay, you're getting 2 rooms for 2 months each.
I
Uh,
turn. I look at Vase and Eleanor. You can take the second one. I'll have one to myself.
Oh,
all right.
thanks. Sure. Okay.
Let's see. So,
Oh, I don't need a
I'd give-
home to myself, so
so you said it was 1 gil per month for the familiar?
Yeah. One gil on top of the 2 month span.
Okay, so it's 6 gil plus. Okay, so minus 9 gil for everything for the food. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Which
And
you
Nellen.
do immediately appraise that your 3 odd gil meal is quite costly for
Yeah.
food.
That's a lot. Yeah, considering 2 months room is 5.
Mhm.
You know, a one
Yeah.
meal being 3 gil is retarded.
okay, so that would be
The
Eleanor.
food better be
and
damn
Vase.
delicious.
Yeah. Yeah, that's basically paying like $800 for lunch. That's what that boils down to.
bear in mind, I am fucking hoarding gil. Let's be honest. I barely
Yeah.
spend any.
On that note, I'm gonna toss 2 gil at a Tyra and go. If you want, I can just bunk with you. Those 2 bedrooms. I don't really need a room of my own unless you want to have a room by yourself.
No, that's fine. You can take the second bed.
Alright.
Pocket the 2 gils that puts me down.
Yeah. Eleanor's broke.
That's why she's paid for it.
God, I appreciate it.
Well,
think
you
I-
see, the thing is, I can't get the room that I would want to get because there's only 2 beds, and I don't particularly want to share with the dog. So, I guess you guys will have your room.
Well, I know what you want to do, but
I was just like, really?
Yeah, I really don't feel like getting punched again. So,
There's this sort of combat of glances as everyone works out the room organization.
I will at least know where my room is, though. And you know, drop it anytime. Smile.
You looking to get all these side by side, or done them being scattered?
Doesn't matter.
I don't
We can
think
get
it
them
matters.
together if you're fine with being on a higher floor. If you want to be closer to the ground level, shorter walk. They'll have to be kind of apart from each other. It's
I'm
whatever you
fine
want.
with
We'll just
being
get them
close
together.
by.
Get them together?
Yeah.
Alright, together it is. And he turns around and he kind of ducks under a cabinet and he kind of unlocks something and he slides it aside and he pulls out a set of how many rooms total did you guys end up just buying?
One for Ellen and Vise, one for Koge, one for Tyro and Nell, one for Chef. So 4 rooms.
We also need to buy a stable for Echo.
Yeah, we gotta buy the stable for Echo. She can go outside and do that. Unless he runs the stable. But
I paid for the princess and the dog, so someone else has to pay for.
I'll pay for Echo's room.
You can't pay for your own room. You just went. Eleanor's broke.
How much is it?
For just everyone just like looks at this dude and says, "How much is it?" Talking about a stable slot? Yeah. What?
Yes.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I don't run that. There's a
Okay.
just building right around the corner. Last I checked, if you want boarding for a chocobo for 2 months, it's gonna be about 3 or 4 gil. I mean, it kind of depends on who you get.
Alright, fair enough.
I'll be right back.
All right.
I'll take her over there then.
Okay, sure.
Really? She's just kind of cocking her head.
As Echo glances around, glances over at Nell, has a little sideways head, a little quee. As Chef kind of
doesn't
leads.
Chef like hate animals? Like just laugh.
Now,
I think it's the other way around.
would you mind coming with me?
Sure.
Meanwhile, I'm just nodding food.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have a bite
hey,
too.
it's pretty good. Are you looking for the full dinner spread?
Yeah.
Big ol' ale and meal. Yeah, he charges you 3 gil for that.
All right. She's gonna basically ask if there's a menu, and then if so, then let Vise pick shit out.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, and she looks at the menu. She picks out, yep, this, and that, and that.
Carrot cake.
Could I
carrot
also
juice.
get some of that? Kind of like tallies it up. There is a carrot cake in the list. And that'll be 4 gil for the lovely lady.
Sure. I'll pay for mine too.
That's 7 between the two of you.
Yeah.
You both get nice big heaping things. A table a busboy helps Vise out with her fucking cornucopia that she just
Royal
ordered.
feast, yeah. Ellen's meal is mostly meat. There is some lettuce in there.
Fucking carnivore.
Vise's meal is mostly dessert.
Spoiled little
Princess.
bun.
Well, she's just like, a daddy never lets me eat this shit.
It's fucking free reign on this menu, man. I'm gonna take everything.
I don't have much money. All the stuff.
I don't deal with money, man. I just
Yeah.
give me that food.
Back.
Eleanor goes down to 62 gil.
As Eleanor is pecked away at dinner by dinner.
I am here. What are we doing?
I think Nell is going to help Chef corral Echo into a stable.
Oh, good luck with that.
Echo kind of goes with Chef and Eleanor, kind of glancing over at Eleanor, perplexed by this strange change of heart he's experiencing from Chef.
The only thing you missed, Ash, was ordering dinner for
Vise.
Eleanor and Vise, and she got the
Vise
menu.
being a
And
spoiled little bun.
she ordered all the desserts.
Excellent.
Eleanor's meal is pretty much 90% meat, 10% veggie.
I mean, I could do with a snack and to make it look like I still need to eat something, but I have had kind of an interesting meal today.
Yeah. You could say your meal was divine.
Oh, yeah. Bit watery.
Anyway,
Medium salt.
We're off around the corner.
You guys go just to the corner block. Just let me fucking use the ruler. Just not even.
The hexes. The hexes.
No.
1 millimeter, 700 feet.
Wait, what happened?
We're contemplating.
Marker
on the-
on the map.
On the map, because the hexes, it only measures in hexes.
Oh,
Like
Somewhere
you go from
between
0
and 700 feet away, you arrive at the staple. Just a minute of walking over there.
Alright. I'm just gonna pay whatever it costs. We don't need to
Echo
faff about
is
that.
is not enjoying the experience of this city with all of the strange, weird stuff, and also the idea of being pushed into a stable.
I try to calm Echo down.
Make a diplomacy check.
Thankfully, it's not handle animal.
Not gonna bother rolling aura, so.
Oh damn!
nice.
You could take a 10. Oh, that
Wow.
works
It's
too.
diplomacy. I think I'm good. I have to roll a 1 to fuck it up.
Echo kind of looks at you with a like, is this really the way this is gotta be? And then kind of quees his head and sort of clomps into the little stable room, kind of
Just
looking
give
at
little...
all the
Next-
other chocobos. What are you doing?
Just giving Echo a little neck scratch as he calms down.
We'll be back in the morning.
And she kind of nestles in down. That'll be 3 gil for the month.
Just hand him.
Here's your and it kind of hands you a little key.
Alright, I will add that to my inventory.
Which meanwhile, side note, if the four rooms you guys got, you were presented with 4 contracts for a lease agreement. Who's presumably Koke signing hers, Chef signing his. Which is presumably Eleanor signing the one for Eleanor and Vise, right? Or is Koke signing that one too?
Yeah.
Then
Koge will sign that one as well. She's the one
Okay.
who paid for it.
just seizes,
Okay.
signs it. Taya or Nell, which one of you is?
I'm signing it.
Yeah, you're probably still eating.
Yeah, I'm still eating, so yeah.
Okay, time to tear up the room. No,
Yes,
not
I'm buying the
evil.
extra insurance for that.
I don't think you're gonna thrash the room that bad.
It's not like I nibbled the sheets or something.
Oh,
There's only been
At
one
least you're not taking
completely
big swords
ruined
to
room.
walls. At least there's that.
I
guess
haven't nibbled the sheets since I was 3.
I guess that really depends how comfortable Nell gets in a free room.
I don't know. Probably, I doubt it.
Yeah, you're all presented with keys as well. These keys they're strange because it has the blade of a key on the front, but the handle is like an etched crystal.
Oh, cool.
Interesting.
Alright. So as we get back out into the street, Chef is gonna turn to Nell. I have a favor to ask. And I didn't want the whole party to hear.
Seems to be a common occurrence right now. Okay, what is it?
I need you to find me 2 things. I need the graves of Professor Tick Mayrose and Dr. Prattle Mayrose.
Wait, graves?
Nod.
Bit morbid, but I'll see what I can do. You said there was 2 things, though?
2 people.
Go on.
2 graves. 2 people,
2
2 things.
graves.
Oh. Okay, so just 2 things, just 2 graves. Okay, I should be able to do that.
Tick Mayrose worked in the Department of History, and prattle in geology.
If you don't mind me asking, why am I looking for these two graves?
You find them, I'll tell you.
Well, not gonna lie, I'm sort of curious now. I'll see what I can do.
Take it as incentive.
I
And
was
start
gonna-
walking back to the room.
I'll just shrug. He was gonna gather information anyway, so that works. Yeah, while everyone else is like getting food or whatever, Nell's gonna grab some food, but once he's done, if there's enough people in the rooms, he's gonna start gathering information, so he was gonna do that anyways.
Okay. Where's my rumor list? There it is. I didn't get to fill this out as much as I wanted. Okay. Go ahead and make your roll there. Is that your roll? The 20. That was the.
Oh, that was for.
That was the.
I mean,
diplomatizing.
the gather
That was the
information
bird rounding up.
can wait until daytime.
Yeah. Or do you want to do that tonight? Or do you want to do that in the morning?
Not gonna go fucking knocking door to door. Hey, I need to know
No,
where
I
these
was-
graves are.
No, I wasn't gonna ask. I wasn't gonna go around town. I was just gonna see what information I could pick up while in the actual
Okay.
common room area.
Yeah, just in this room.
Yeah.
Okay, where are you right now? You are right there. That is on the corner of the Commons and North NMU. Okay. Yeah, you can go ahead and make your diplomacy gather information check if you want.
While this
Okay.
is happening, I want to search my own brain here. How easy is it to unlock use of MP to let the mana flow? Can you lend it to somebody? Is that something you like can focus on and try and do?
This is gonna be with Aura, by the way.
Okay.
This is good because I will.
I actually don't know if that's a thing that you can do in the system. Is there a thing in the system for sharing mana?
No.
No, but I mean like as a concept
In the world,
of,
in the
yeah.
Nothing comes to your mind about being able to share MP, being able to pass it around, but you also know that it isn't exactly it isn't a set in stone thing. It's an energy, and if anywhere has thought of a way to fuss with that, it's probably this city.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Nell, where you are, you figure out a couple of things. You hear about an affair that someone in the maths department was having. You
Oh, no.
you hear about a recent lecture given by Dr. Pierston Gadsworth where almost no one attended and he was very embarrassed. You hear about a paper that's being published in the geology department that that potentially due to the increased use in Magitech, the frost, what was it fucking called? The frost crag is melting.
That global
Hello?
warming, yo.
Warming.
You hear a lot of that sort of stuff. You hear about a recent excavation down in the molten goddamn, I can't remember the name now. Fucking Molten Sea, that was the key word. You hear about an excavation down in the Molten Sea that's unearthed some sort of strange tomb that has yet to be opened. That's about it from what you're gleaning.
I'll take it for that's just being in the end.
Yeah. You're surrounded by mostly like geology and history professors and like cartographers. That's where you are. Maybe a couple anthropologists here and there.
That's it for me then, I guess. At least for the day.
Anybody else doing anything?
I think she would just be eating. Probably making some comments on how good it is.
Where am I? Am I sitting? I'll be sitting like opposite or with Beast and.
Okay.
And
Yeah, you find the table.
Eleanor.
Is Tyro eating with them, or is Tyro just off on his own?
I'm eating with them, yeah.
Okay.
I'm back.
You find the party table. Everyone's there eating their overpriced dinners.
It's good though.
I sit down and I look to Beast. So, I think I'm gonna go somewhere tomorrow. Just a quick errand. Got some questions about some magic. But after that, we can hit up maybe where all the blue mages are.
Oh, that could be fun. Where are you going now?
His face full of cake.
What was that? I didn't understand.
Crystalline's gonna kill her in the morning.
That sounds like fun, but where are you heading off to?
It's no big deal. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I
Jeez,
actually
we'll remember
also
that.
I also have fucking pack headband. Finished it.
Mhm. Oh, yeah, the head, yeah.
Here you go. I lean over table to give it to her.
That fits perfect. How did you know?
I'm a very skilled craftswoman.
Oh, okay. I'm still not exactly sure. What does it do?
Well, to talk some magical jargon at you adds +2 to your intelligence. And after 24 hours, it will add your hit die's worth of ranks in diplomacy.
Wow, that's ridiculous.
And it
how
scales
much does
as
it
you
add to my
level.
intelligence?
And it adds +2 intelligence.
+2 intelligence. Wow.
Yes. So that means you get another modifier, which
More
skill points.
ranks.
Because
Yeah.
that's. I recommend you put them into something that is a diplomacy because it does stack with the and as long as you wear it and as you get more powerful, you'll be more diplomatic. I figured if you're gonna help your sister out with diplomacy missions, might as well take advantage of what magic can do.
Well, I mean, diplomacy it's not a class skill for me, but I mean...
Well, you're basically getting 3 ranks as your level, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Plus intelligence is important for a blue mage.
Well,
Oh.
thanks. That brings me up to a +2 modifier. Talking, if I can keep talking
Poor
magic
little- poor little
jargon to
Bobby.
you.
Cool.
Don't worry, one day you'll be almost as intelligent as me.
Okay.
I think
She
you'll kind of
rolls
outrun
her
her on that.
eyes.
Well, I'm exhausted. I'm gonna go turn in.
Okay.
You know where I am if you need me.
Mhm.
Wink. And I go to bed.
I'm gonna finish up these. No.
Oh Lord.
I'm going to schoolgirl giddily skip back, skip to bed and sleep and lie down and just be very excited.
Which, by the way, as you check the note, the little dangly note, the tag more like on the key that you have, it does say like 18th floor.
I don't care. It's going to take more than 18 floors of stairs to dampen my mood.
All right. You find some sort of stairwell and you start climbing, and it takes you a while to get up there.
I stop, like, as I reach the top and go, Chef's gonna die.
And as you round over the top and like sit there like catching your breath for a second, a door, like maybe 10 feet away from you, right next to where the stairwell is, slides open, and there's a small box chamber inside that a couple people step out of and walk down the hallway. But it doesn't look like the way that they got in there.
Of course they have fucking
Did someone just walk out?
Someone just walked out. It looks like it's just a room with one door that's like the size of a closet.
Hey, excuse me.
Yeah.
Sorry to bother you, but what the hell is that?
It's the Magivator for the building.
What does it do?
You get in it, and then it lets you out on a different floor.
I just fucking walked up all those stairs for no reason.
You're from out of town, aren't you?
Just one of those vehement nods. I'm like, yeah, I'm from way far out of town.
Hey kid, you just blow in from stupid town.
I'm kind of on a bit of a, deific high right now. I think I'm gonna be a little bit silly.
Okay, I gotta know, are there like signs pointing towards the Magivators at all?
There is some signage. It's a little cryptic, and you kind of have to know what that is that it is pointing to realize that's what you're looking for.
Chef gets in the Magivator up to the room.
Well, that's fine. I'll just remain,
Hey, wait a minute.
Good physical condition.
Wait a minute.
Which, by the way, are you heading upstairs around the same room that she's heading upstairs?
Yeah, no. Chef would be one of the people coming out of the fucking thing.
And as
in the back.
As you're sitting there talking to them, like contemplating this, the next door down in this bank opens up and Chef steps out.
I can feel the daggers from here.
Look, it's all of those. I've never heard of such a silly thing before. Like, oh. You saw nothing. You heard nothing.
Shrug. Straight to
So I
her
imagine
room.
at this point, Nell's probably back sitting with us, or...
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Vise, Eleanor, Tyro, and Nell snacking and hanging out.
Right, so where exactly are we going to be looking for your uncle tomorrow?
Right.
You know that he's a professor at Ursa Mora.
So, 7312 Femur Street.
Okay, Professor Orsamora, but thing is, depending what magic he goes on to, he could be possibly either black or red. Probably black. Crap. I'll let that. We'll have to head to the classes near Ursamora and ask around. I'm not quite sure on his exact classroom. We'll have to do some digging.
Alright, that's perfectly fine. Taro turns to Eleanor. It's like, I imagine you'll probably want to be securing the fuel probably as soon as possible.
Vise elbows Eleanor.
Just
I
going
imagine you want to be securing
get a
the
drumstick in her
fuel
mouth.
for the airship as soon as possible.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, of course.
It's like we haven't had anything but chow rations in like a week of game time.
Yeah, nah,
is
it's
there-
been a while.
Is there blood in that steak?
Actually, no, it's a series of preservatives that kind of look like blood. It's not actually blood.
Yeah.
Jeff would know.
She does wipe her mouth. It's red as fuck.
on white fur, like.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's not,
contrast
that's not
is
creepy at all.
ridiculous.
Like just looking up at you with the "I love my princess every day of the month" look.
And she actually looks like really like just innocent right now, so it's like kind of creepy.
Yeah, there's a weird discordant like, oh yeah, no, and then just murder mouth.
From the meat. Yeah.
That sounds like a great band name. Murder
Murder
Mouth.
Mouth.
Nice.
Well,
Yeah, we'll go. We'll go pick up the fuel as soon as we can. Of course, if you all have things to do as well, we can stay here a bit longer. But
Alright.
you know, keep in
Yeah.
mind we are in a time limit.
That we are. My hope is to conclude the business I have as soon as possible, so that we can make our return to Lolan.
Yes, of course.
As a short side note, Murder Mouth is apparently a short documentary that was 18 minutes long. I don't want to know what it was about.
It could be literally anything.
With that, I was gonna head over and retire for the evening.
Well,
Good night, Hero.
Have a good night.
yeah, which by the way, Tyro, as you go to retire for the evening, can you make a knowledge technology check for me?
See if you know what an elevator is.
I think I was just too like happy.
Yeah,
and just,
you were just
that's-
bolting for it. Like,
Let's see. I have no ranks in that, so what is that? Just a flat D20?
No ranks, you can't make one.
no,
Fuck.
Perception check. See if people are getting into a box.
Roll,
Yeah.
yeah, no, roll a d100 and see if there are people going in one.
Well, I imagine it'd
At
be
this
perception
time.
to see if someone's going in.
no, but
I feel
Well,
like
I
either
do.
you see them or you don't. Like,
let's see if somebody happens to be getting into one right now as you're going upstairs. Nope.
God damn it.
Oh.
Welcome to hell. 18 plus.
As you look at your little key with the little dangling tag off from it, and you see like floor 18. And like you just look up at the ceiling, just like, damn, that's not even fair.
Oh.
No. Even suggesting that of trying to go ask the innkeepers, like, how are people expected to go up 18 floors? That's a little bit too metagame, I think, for this.
Perhaps.
Just gives a sigh, it's like, son of a bitch, alright.
And you take your climb. And it takes quite a few minutes.
Are we all rolling then?
Meanwhile, I'm just quietly swearing in Mithrin. God.
Down from the stairs and go back in time and stab the person who made them.
Jeff probably has like the biggest troll face on right now.
I guess the better question is now, once I reach the 18th floor, do I see someone coming out of the freaking elevator?
There doesn't seem to be anyone happening to leave right now. You just made it to the top floor.
So is everyone gonna have to roll that then?
Well, are you all going around the same time? Those
we're finishing
Nell,
the
Nell,
food
Vise, and well, yeah. Do you guys finish up eating together?
I'd be leaving as soon as finishing. Yeah.
You finish your meals and you head over to the elevator. And is somebody happening to get in right now? Nope. Yeah, it appears that you gotta climb 18 floors. As every fucking member of the
I'm
party.
rolling a fucking knowledge technology. This is gonna be
Okay,
a flat
go
roll.
ahead,
Fuck it,
go
I'm
on.
doing it.
Used your bardic
I know, you make them
intuition.
unchanged.
Using
Can
your
you
bar.
make them untrained?
She can.
Yes,
'Cause she's
I
bardic.
know it's all
She
a
can.
bard.
She can.
Okay.
As you pierce into it with your sort of bardic intuition, you get no fucking clue. Just I guess it's a staircase. It's the only way up.
I can tell you about history. I can't tell you jack shit about technology.
That's fine.
Oh, this is amusing.
this is hilarious. As the whole party is befuddled by an elevator.
Doors.
Where the hell are they gonna see an
Automatic doors.
elevator? Like anywhere else in the world? Oh,
I
a couple
know.
of them,
Benefit,
couple
I have
others
the
in,
benefit
but-
of coming from literally tribal. We live in huts.
We have tribal, we have Lullen, and then we had two people that basically grew out in the outskirts of what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have
Technically, I spent the latter half of my adolescence and early adulthout in the Overwood, so
Yeah.
it's not any
We
better.
have magic forest mage. We have farm girl bard. We have tribal blue mage. We've got like
The only one who is only slightly not country hick is the completely silent Dark Knight.
I don't know, it's a bird, but
Well.
Also completely silent, effectively.
yep.
Hey, we got a princess and a knight.
I don't think
Small
anyone
town,
has
small town.
elevators.
From Connecticut,
town,
yeah, like.
Close enough.
From Connecticut.
Oh, and I just stuffed myself. Oh boy.
That's gonna be a fun walk up.
By the way, yeah, you're wearing your full plate still, right, Eleanor?
She's in breastplate.
Oh yeah, you're both. Yeah, that's
She's
fine.
in
Medium,
she's
but
in
still
medium.
That's
heavy.
medium.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a medium load. I'm just like full plate up a staircase on a full stomach. I'm like, I'm gonna need a fortitude check for that. But no, it's
She doesn't have full
fine.
plate.
I got
She's
very
like,
lucky with my full plate drop.
No. Because I was using a fucking module where the boss is wearing full plate and happens to be a Dark Knight. Like,
Top floor is fine. We
Like, hey, look, this is made for me.
yeah.
Well, actually, the one that knew that elevators existed said the top floor was fine. Didn't think about it
mhm.
because 8 wisdom score.
Yeah.
You all find your evening's rest. Eleanor with Vise, Koke by herself, Tyrone
Aw.
Nell, Chef by himself,
My own.
and you all settle down for the evening.
Get tired.
As you, Eleanor, settle in and come to rest in your pajama bits, could you go ahead and make a
Battle
perception
jammy.
check for me in your battle jammies? Make a perception check.
Battle jammies. I don't have battle jammy.
Well, then your normal,
guess-
lame, non-cool
Yeah.
kid jam.
Well, I guess
Man.
they are technically battle jammies because she's fought like 2 or 3 battles
Yeah.
in these things.
It's called a
I'm just like
combat
half
skirt.
expecting.
They are
Half
battle
expecting,
jammies now,
Yeah,
if
they
not
are
in function, in spirit.
I'm just half expecting her to ask Tyra to make like.
Oh, that like dice
Fucking
didn't even
onesie
roll.
with
It just
fucking
like hit the
flop
board on the
Yeah.
floor. That was great.
That
was amazing.
You're not as good at this as I thought you were.
What was that, Ichi?
I'm just half expecting Eleanor to say.
No.
I'm half expecting Eleanor to have Tyra
Rabbit's not
make
being sneaky.
like a onesie, make a onesie with fucking chocobo patterns on it.
No, she doesn't.
As
She does have a plushie. So
as you settle in for your rest and you're kind of on the cusp of sleep, you hear a little creaky floorboard in the middle of the room, just a little, and then nothing.
I'm just gonna sit up.
Visa standing in the middle of the room. She looks shocked for a moment and then immediately regains casualness and leans against the wall. Oh, Pei.
Hey, what are you doing here in this room?
We
Can I share
share.
with you?
Just getting my stretches in for sleep.
She's rubbing.
It's
She's
a long
rubbing her
day.
eyes.
We don't want to cramp up or anything. You know, it's a bow thing. I just,
You're here about some bullshit!
I'm looking for
You're
it.
sneaking
What
out
is your
again, aren't you,
number on that?
princess?
Which, yeah, even without a fucking just a flat roll, like, duh. I'm sneaking out. I'm sorry. I'll go back to bed. And she wanders
Hang on.
over and flops down in her bed.
Busted.
That girl a house arrest brace.
There actually is something like that. It's called a prisoner's ring.
Mm-hmm. On a jailer's
Oh,
ring.
God.
You
Speaking
could know,
of- speaking
you could
of
know where
which-
she is at any
Hmm?
moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just got one of those Nelthasarian.
Yeah.
I kind of want to put the prisoner half on loose so that we know where the fuck she is when she teleports and knows if she's dead or
Oh.
not.
God. That's awful.
Yeah, well, it's not my fault that she constantly ends up trying to become the next Jesus, martyring herself at every opportunity. Was that a...
Again.
Miles.
Whispering through the wall. I don't know actually where we are. Hi, person on the other side of the wall. If you're not my rabbit, then just ignore me.
After like a
Just
second
Val
or two,
hears a,
you-
is like a muffle, like, what the actual fuck?
Okay, go to sleep.
yeah.
Oh, hi, Chef.
Oh god.
I'm just a bit antsy. I got energy I want to burn. You know how it is.
You can do it by yourself.
I'm not helping you.
I wasn't asking.
And
God.
then morning.
Yeah, and Vise returns to her bed, slops back down, and the evening passes. A little time accelerate, clouds go by, sun starts coming up. 8 hours passes.
I'm up. First thing.
Ding, the mage alarm goes off, and your spell's reset, and it is loud enough to wake you up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And while the mages do their daily slash and scribe, I'm putting the full plate on.
I don't need to. I want to kind of. So I wake up and I want to sit up and I want to just kind of not transform, but I want to feel how different is this new form I have compared to everything else. Like how does it feel to have eaten this creature? Like, to me, hello.
It feels like a slightly anticlimactic version of your wildest dreams. Like, it's exactly what you wanted. You can turn into it, and it feels really powerful, but it doesn't feel like a god. It feels like, you know, a sixth level
thing.
part, like a class feature. I mean, it's different in a lot of ways than what you know from your form changes and stuff. But
it's still
not,
disappointing.
It is disappointing, really. Like in that little bit of maybe you built it up in your
Like,
head.
You've grown up, and this is all you've wanted, and maybe you overhyped it a little bit, but this is...
Yeah, there's a little bit of that.
I mean, ultimately, I'm still me under all of it.
But everything, you're still you.
And all of the wonder that brings.
Anyway.
First thing I want to do is I get up, I go down the Magivator,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm finding where the white mages are.
Okay. I would like to take this opportunity and run real quick and use the bathroom. If anybody else needs to run real quick and use the bathroom, I keep drinking glasses of water for some reason, and that is a bad idea. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
I've had gallons of drink to try and not die, and it's not working.
Well, you're not dead yet, so...
I mean, I guess it's working to an extent. This is going to be interesting, having us all running around in circles trying to do everything.
At this point, Eleanor is just basically a bodyguard. Like, she has nothing to do here. But she probably would take some interest in some of the magic stuff. History.
I feel like duty-bound doggo would be the duty-bound doggo would be headed for the fuel.
Yeah, she would be doing that.
I mean, we will be lugging around, like, something we may not have considered is the weight of the fuel that we then now have to cart back.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Go ahead and get a gauge on it first, and then order what we need.
And I'm
Then I
back.
gotta. Hey,
Welcome back.
I gotta make sure I walk around with Beast everywhere.
Assuming that these are, you know, dorm. Well, I mean, you know, never been in a dorm room. What?
Hello?
Who just?
It's Drake back.
Hey.
I'm back.
Oh. Assuming you're in a stable, Nell convinced you that we would be back for you in the morning, and now it's morning, and we're coming to get you soon.
Yeah. What's it look like? Is it like? Are there like?
It's very
It's
It's a
uncomfortable.
stable.
It's very
No, I meant like outside of the stable. Like what kind of?
We're not in a big Mazatec area, if that's what you're worrying about.
Yeah. Okay.
What's the last thing you remember?
We were dealing with Koke stuff.
Okay.
So
Chef,
yeah.
Still kind of
Chef
doing it
informed us about an inn, and we've all leased it for 2 months because that's how they roll.
It's super cheap, which
Yeah.
that's what I was trying to ask. The like, I've never been in a college dorm. Like, are these just beds? Are there like a skillet? Like
The room itself, if you were to walk in the door, it would probably be maybe a little under 10 feet wide and maybe 12 feet deep. We're talking a twin bed on one side, a thin sort of hallway, a twin bed on the other side, and then in the back corner, in the far end of the room, is 2 desks, probably around 36 inches wide apiece.
Yeah. that sounds like
so it's barely habitable living space.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, that's
Sounds
kind of
what I imagined a college dorm would be like.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
It's basically what it is.
but that means just like college kids, we eating ramen noodles the whole time we're here.
hmm Food's really good, but it's very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
compared to the rooms, yes.
That's where they get you. They get you with
It's
the
in the meal
cheap
plan.
room, but
It's
then you
always in
gotta
the meal
eat.
plan. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the college
Yeah,
kid
but-
thing.
Our party hadn't had a good meal in a while, so it made sense.
Yeah.
Like we'd been getting by on like trail rations and
Like a barrel of plums or whatever.
barrel of plums, and then the sandwiches that we got from the elderly couple.
At least it's not Altasarian, and you know we're living off of walnuts for 3 months, and then we move on to the lentils.
Walnuts
Like,
and aged fish.
Aged fish.
Yeah. But as this goes on,
aged
Tyron's
fish
gonna-
is just rotten fish.
That's
At
Um,
this point, yeah, it's rotten fish at this point.
Yeah. But at this
And
point,
then
Tyron's
Kate-
gonna get up.
Sorry,
At this
For
point, Tyron's
anybody-
just gonna get up
anybody-
and get ready to go.
sorry.
Okay. Tyro
Yeah.
gets up, gets prepped. She's prepping your spells and stuff. Koke's already out the door, heading downstairs for the looking for white mages.
Nell doesn't have to prep anything, so she's just gonna like grab some food and then head out.
Okay. Nell's heading down. For the sake of this, because it's the early morning. Nell, as you're leaving, which is around the same time Tyra's leaving, there's a lot of people coming and going because it's the early morning and all the casters are waking up. And they're using this weird box, the doors that open and close, and like you see the blob of people and you see the doors open. It's an empty box. A bunch of people go in. The doors close. Everyone stands there in front of the doors for like fucking 180 seconds.
8 seconds. What? Oh,
And a couple minutes
yeah.
later, the doors open again, and it's empty again, and people go in and the doors close and it goes down again. And it is the weirdest thing.
I'm gonna find one of them, sort of tap them on the shoulder, and go, "Excuse me, what is that?"
It's the way down. They're just waiting in line.
I'm not from around here. There's something other than stairs.
Haven't seen a Magivator?
No.
A system of crystals and cables. Suspends a box. Counterweight drops, and you get the impression this is a physics professor, as you can tell from his beard.
Physics professors are known for their beard.
Yeah.
When the pendulum drops, when the
It
counterweight
takes
drops,
physics to manage it.
the cabin raises in opposition to that, and allows the space within a maximum load for people to be ascended and descended to whatever desired level within a structure.
I probably absorbed 85% of that. Okay, so this is the way down. Got it. Actually, wait. When I was heading out, was Tyro still studying? Whatever, was he already gone?
As you were walking down the hallway, he would have kind of. Actually, you know what? Yeah, he doesn't have fucking. You don't have stuff to study. You leave like immediately. How long is the study time for a red mage for regular casters?
That's a good question.
Is it like
If
a
it's
minute,
like wizards,
or is it like
if
20
it's like-
minutes?
If it's a wizard, it's an hour.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You long gone by the time he gets up. By the time
Well,
that he's
If
out
he's
the
still
door.
studying, I'm sort of just gonna like poke my head in real quick and go, magic box. Helps you get down. Here's the location. Bye.
I'll mark it on your map, and then Nell's gone.
I just kind of raised an eyebrow. I was like, just like kind of facepalm. I was like, God, that would have been nice to know last night.
What the hell? Magic box helps you get down. I'll mark it on your map means. Yeah. You depart as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're right on the heels of Koke on heading out.
I'm looking for any reason to get out of the stable. Am I seeing anything?
The most compelling reason to you to get out of the stable is that the door in front of you is completely locked.
First thing, Chef is going to the stable.
Okay. Chef wakes up, gets his armor on, and he works his way down to the stable first thing in the morning, and with his little key unlocks you and guides you out, and a couple of hands help you, and your badge are back on the road. Koke, you were looking for white mages. At this
Yes.
point, you'd be where are you going? What you doing?
I'm heading towards where I was when it's like, this is where the mages are, and I'm gonna go and, hello, excuse me, I'm looking for where the white mages are. Can you point me out to them, please? I'm new here. Hello, lost.
A little old lady kind of comes up to you. The white mages? They're over in the White Enclave, just down past the blacks, around the corner.
Okay, thank you.
Sounds like a racist old lady the way she's talking.
Yeah.
I'm gonna head straight there.
Just go past the blacks. Don't get mugged.
It's right between the
They
blacks
have a
and the
very
reds.
difficult time mugging me.
It is unfortunate. Like the White Mage School is just like this teeny little building.
Yeah.
It seems like white magic isn't that popular.
This is weird.
No
Wait,
one
okay.
wants to be the healer.
No one wants
Everyone
to be the
wants to be
healer.
the
Everyone wants to
DPS.
blow shit.
But anyway, I'm heading there.
Okay.
I mean, the red quarter is to be like one of the biggest, so that makes sense.
Well,
Yeah.
that's because then you get invites to every party because you have haste and no one else does. Fucking red mages.
Refresh
Refresh and haste.
Refresh.
and phalanx.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll find out. It's like, well, you ready to start looking for your uncle?
Right, we should do that. I'm gonna head to the and keep whatever, and I doubt I don't know what it is. I'm gonna ask him where he knows the red and black enclave is. That's
Alright,
what I'm
sounds
gonna
good.
check first.
You're looking for the mages. They're over in Ursamora. Reds are here. Map of Moonbright on the wall. Blacks are here. You looking for a person? You looking to enroll? If you're looking to enroll, you're gonna want to head over to
Looking for a person, actually.
a person.
A couple people.
Couple, really.
Okay. A student or professor?
Professor.
Okay. Kind of looks at his watch. Around this time, they're probably out ready to lecture. best bet might be asking around in the lecture halls for him.
Alrighty.
I don't suppose you were familiar with any of the professor names. Like, if we gave you the names, you could say where they're at.
I don't know. I know maybe a few of them in geology and anthropology, and he kind of like points in directions. Just the ones, fucking block
Right,
away
we're-
from me here.
We're
Alright.
not in the right area.
That's
It was worth
perfectly
a shot. Thank you.
Yep.
All right, we're heading there.
All right. As we step out, I'm going to cast Commute Amount for Chocobos for both of us to help hasten our.
Wait, how big are the streets?
Wide enough for a chocobo. Wide enough
Okay,
for
never
even
mind.
a chocobo each way on this little side road you're on. Chocobo each way, kind of barely.
So they're taking up the street like
Yeah.
cyclists.
If you're side by side, you're taking up the whole street.
No,
Yeah.
just gonna be traveling a line, most likely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once
All
you
right,
break
two
it-
Chocobos.
Once you break into the thoroughfare here, it gets wider. It's a proper road sized road.
Yeah, and these two are good for 6 hours.
Yeah, that's more than enough time. We should be.
Oh,
in
yeah.
there.
So, I guess I'm accompanying Chef.
I mean, unless you want to just go wander about, Chef isn't gonna stop you.
All you gotta do is like find some books, and people are gonna think you're a student.
Wait,
Kui, I'm a blue mage.
I'm a white mage.
Yeah.
But
He is.
Actually, no, that's true. That's true. You are a white mage.
Mm-hmm.
So, like,
it's
go
like,
fucking go mingle among your peers. Fucking bird.
Yeah,
All
this.
right, so we're basically heading for here, basically. If I understood that correctly.
I
We-
think so.
Yeah.
Sweet Quee and Chef. Like, thank you. I don't want to be in here anymore.
Shrug.
And wander off.
If you're just wandering in a random direction, Chef isn't stopping you.
Like, I did my good deed for the day.
Mhm.
I don't.
That's okay.
I'm at risk. I'm at risk of an alignment shift if I do anything else good. So fuck off.
I don't know where else. I'm not sure if I don't think I caught anything. 'Cause I was-
I don't suppose
Like-
Echo saw either of us going off, did they?
In the
don't know.
timings here, with the time that it took,
For me to get
the
clothes
time it took
on
you to get
them.
armored, and the time it took Tyra to get prepped, chances are you guys were a hair behind them, but would have come out around the time that they're standing on the street corner, like in front of this table. So you both are astride chocobos coming down the alleyway, and the two of them are having some conversation right there.
Oh, looks like Chef got Echo out.
Oh, that's good.
So do I see them?
Oh yeah, I mean they're right there.
Okay. I go after them, I guess.
You're being approached by Echo.
Hello, Echo. We have things to do, but
Yeah.
just sort of like look at Tyro.
Well, if he doesn't mind waiting with the Chocobos I have summoned, I don't really see an issue.
Just gotta talk to some people. Once come along, but it probably isn't that exciting.
So this still looks like the average town. It's just
It's like the average town, but with electric lighting, especially on interiors. It's on some of the street lamps and stuff. But where you
Okay.
are, it's a lot of brick facades and marble columns still. It looks like it's kind of Oxfordy,
What time of day is it? Is it morning or
Morning.
Early
First thing
morning.
in the morning, yep.
early morning?
It is the morning.
On the 10th of Fallen Leaf.
So the street lights wouldn't be like on full
No,
blast.
they're off right now. I mean, the sun's
Okay.
already crested over, and it's there's a vague orangish as it turns into regular sunlight color.
Right. Okay.
So that's Koke. You walk by the Black Quarter,
Okay.
and you see there's people standing on ledges and like hanging out up in kind of the up in the sort of balconies and stuff of these dorm buildings. As you turn the corner and you look down this corridor where there's the school, the black school on your right and the red school on your left, there are lines that look like they've been painted in like, oil paint on the ground. On the black side, a black line. On the red side, a red line. That's like big old glyphs painted on the sides of some of the buildings and some graffiti. As you
This war could lead to some very misleading graffiti, like down with the blacks.
Yeah, red
there's
power.
perhaps a little bit of that. Perhaps
God damn it.
there's not quite those sensitivities, but
No, it would certainly not be the same like hate-filled message. It would just be
cast read magic to identify if any of these are magical things or if this is just mundane graffiti writing.
Most of it is mundane graffiti with mundane paint. Some of the glyphs mix in with the other glyphs look like traps.
Oh no.
Intentionally placed.
the
Is there a way
jerk-off
for me to just
arcane
walk
mark.
through without triggering any of these?
Yeah, and then keeping an eye out for that. You can, with your read magic, you just
Yeah, I just
without too
roll
much issue.
eyes and head towards the White Enclave.
Oh. Ba, 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 ba. As you walk down the corridor, as you walk down this sort of this narrow road, at some point a building off on your left bursts open from the inside, and two people come stumbling out and hit the ground kind of hard and go rolling out, and then stand up, and one of them sparks the other one, who stands there, stunned for a couple seconds as he dashes off, and then you see a professor run up. Not in the dorms! And like she raises her arms and like the stones come back up together and into the building and then chases after the guy that ran off.
I keep walking.
Over the course of like 20 minutes or so, you work your way all the way from the edge of the commons to the White Enclave. Tyrone, what are you guys doing? Where are you going? You're heading to Ursamar's lecture halls?
Yes.
By Chocobo back, you head straight there. As you pass through this large plaza, you notice on your left this large basalt pillar. It stretches about like 800 feet in the air, and it looks like it's made of solid stone. The area around it is cracked in a radial pattern.
Jesus.
Has it been this way before?
I just want to kind of say that I want to end up in the White Enclave, but I'm not sure I don't know anything. I don't think I picked up anything.
Go ahead and make a perception
Wander
check,
about
Echo.
till you find a druid or a beast master that quiz back at you.
Okay, what did you want me to do?
Perception check.
Yeah. Well, I don't think.
Nope, you don't see it.
No. Well, it's more that I don't know if Echo knows to look for it.
Okay.
It's kind of what I'm getting
That was just a sort of passive, like, do you see a sign that says, like, White Enclave this way? Oh, hey, I want to go to that. No, you don't.
I mean, worst case, we might hear something in the lecture hall anyway, so.
Are you following Tyrone Nell there?
Yeah.
For now, or okay.
After being the stable, I don't want to be left alone.
Yeah, you guys in high speed work your way across this very long plaza. It's like a 15-minute walk from one end of the plaza to the other end of the plaza, just from the sheer vastness of it. Like God, you know.
Okay.
You pull up on the corner of Chroma Square, and you see there's the entrance to various lecture halls and paths through the buildings. You see some kind of bridges between buildings that are occurring at different levels. Some of them don't even look like they're supported by anything. They just are floating there. It's all that sort of look.
Is there any type of like roster or anything talking about what
Yeah, it's like
professors are
anything like a
getting
directory.
lectures?
Type
You
desk or
you find a
sort.
directory, a wall-mounted directory for the building. You see building UM, then under that 305, and then it has listed under it a set of classes.
Oh yeah. Besides that, even if I did see a sign, what would that mean? I can't read.
Yeah. Oh.
I can't read.
Like you.
I'm assuming Tyro's searching for his instructor, and I'm searching for mine.
You're looking for
I'm
for
looking for Professor
Dices.
Dices. Yeah.
Yep. You scroll the list. You don't see a Dices anywhere on the list.
Is there an Oris listed?
There is an Oris listed. You notice that's him, and you almost couldn't remember what his last name was, but whatever that is, that's his last name. And you point to it, and
Pick it out and decided on
Professor
it yet.
Dices here.
I actually caught a name here. He's teaching whatever he's teaching there.
looks back at the sign. Intro to Elemental Magic.
Not surprised. Let's head there. Go to
He's
catch
got
him after
he's on swish and flick duty.
and he probably fucking hates it.
It's part of tenure, man. Even if you're just there to study, they make you teach if you want tenure.
Drew the short stick that year.
It's not as Brad's stick.
Yeah. You guys work your way through the hallways and corridors and stuff, and you eventually come across a lecture hall. It sounds like it's in session right now. And you hear a fairly loud voice projected in there. It's Grunkaloris.
Grunkle? I mean, it makes sense.
I mean, should we just walk in, or?
We never did check if anyone can attend those lectures.
Yeah. That's.
Was there anyone at the front desk?
When you came in, you kind of just entered one of the buildings with lecture halls. Like there wasn't a person there for you. You just kind of immediately started wandering through lecture halls until you found it, just following the directory.
How cute.
Well, okay. Is there a way we can take a peek in the room? Like, is there any way we can just like sit in the back, like sort of just watch all the lectures going on?
Sure. You.
Echo.
Oh yeah,
Since
Echo.
I'm sitting outside this room, I'm gonna poke my head in.
Oh god damn it!
Yeah. Okay. So you guys. So by the way, yeah, you've brought Echo with you through the hallways of this lecture building.
Gods be damned.
Shit.
Tell
you what.
Which, by the way, as you turn around now, Echo is right behind you. As you contemplate whether or not you should poke your head in this lecture hall.
Idea. I'll go in there. Uncle should know me. Could you stay with Echo? I really do not think we should bring the Chocobo in there.
Fair enough.
Once class dismisses, I'll introduce you to him.
Can I still
Thank you.
poke my head in, Quee?
No, like I am
No.
stopping you from
I-
poking your head in the room.
Okay.
I call my familiar out of pact. It's like, would you be so kind as to distract your Echo for a few minutes? My familiar quiz like, yes, of course. I'll get right on it.
Oh
The
god.
blood is right in front. It's like just kind of quays innocently at it, even though it can't
Hello, big
actually speak to
chocobo.
it.
I am little chocobo.
Oh,
That's
You
God.
can't
Good
actually
then.
understand it, but it's cute, adorable, and I hope it's distracting.
Pick up.
Go
Pick
for
up,
it, Nugget. I believe in you.
Pick up Chicobo. Place
You
on
can
back.
do it, Nugget. Pick up
Echo.
Chicobo, put on back, then poke head in.
Yeah.
Actually, this is gonna be silly. I am going to activate my aura and make sure I'm still within 30 feet and give it to Chocobo.
That chocobo is so charismatic.
The thing is, it has no ranks in fucking diplomacy.
It does now. It has 4
Wait,
fucking
wait.
points.
Familiars have all the ranks that you do. If you have any ranks in diplomacy, it
I
has a
do,
bonus.
actually.
That is one.
I actually need to
diplomatic
look at his charisma. Hold on just a second.
It
Hold
gets the ranks, and
can't-
then it gets all of its modifiers attached.
But I
It's basically a plus. That's 1d20 plus 9 plus Nell's bonus.
But we.
Diplomatic nugget.
But
Plus 13.
how is it diplomacy if it is? If
It's a nugget,
if it can't communicate with me?
It-
Just
Where's
pantomime.
interpretive
yours?
dance.
It can peep.
Interpretive dance.
Yeah,
I would
it's
say
pantomime.
with a severe penalty, it could attempt to talk to Echo through gesture.
So how do you want to knock that down? 1d13 to what? 1d20 to what? I have currently a bonus of 13 with Nell's aura.
We'll bring that down to like bring it down by like 10 because it's fucking can't.
So
toss a
1d20 plus 3. Okay.
You
It is
feel
horrible.
that much coerced to staying exactly where you are. Nell, are you going in?
I'm going in.
All right. As you crack open the door and kind of like lurk your way inside, all the eyes are on you.
Oh shit.
You should have rolled stealth. Should have
Oh,
rolled stealth.
Look who's late to class.
Just sort of grin sheepishly. Don't mind me. You got a
You-
class to teach, right?
You hear kind of sheepishly from the front. Ah, look who finally decided to come in instead of just hanging out talking by the door. Well, you're late already. If you wanna, let me just roll a perception check here for reasons. Oh, yep, no, oh no. If you just want to sit in the back real quick, come on.
Just sits down. Keeps head down for the time being.
As with a 3, he does not catch that it is you that it is.
God damn it. Doesn't even recognize me.
Your NPCs and being perceptive outside of combat. In combat, they are on it. They are
God tier.
Murderous.
Doggo's earning treats.
I didn't
but
want to interrupt the class. This works. I will go for it.
Well, he sits with a bit of a professorly scowl. You sit down kind of in the back, and he proceeds with his lecture about
You
intro
notice
to
I'm not wearing
elemental
like new
magic.
clothes or anything at all. Like I'm wearing fucking studded leather here.
I'm wearing chainmail.
You're not trying to be a student right now.
True.
It seems very educational. You don't really seem to understand it. Go ahead and make a knowledge arcana for me.
Oh god.
I guess the question is, can I make a perception check to see if I actually hear what's going on through the door? See if I can learn anything while I wait outside.
No!
I mean,
That
I
was
feel like
befuddled.
you've already got the swish and flick mastered,
Yeah, they're
Wow.
especially having been a solo red mage for as long as you have been.
for
Yeah,
the sake of
fair enough.
Tyra. There's probably not a whole lot you can learn from this. You would just fall asleep.
Fair enough.
Like I am probably just zoning out while he's talking.
No,
Just like
you're,
s-
you're
head
there kind of shocked, like, God, it's Girl Ores. You didn't even recognize me. That's ridiculous. What's with
Right,
this guy? It's
Just
all his
words
words just going over your head.
Oh god.
My question is,
go
why are
with
you
magic.
using the Chickabo to try and convince me when you could just tell me?
Good question.
That's
Because
subtle
that
on Tyra
Chickabout's
there.
far cuter than I am, so let's be honest. That would be a good idea.
You can have a high
Yeah.
charisma. I mean,
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, you don't have
True,
to
if I-
roll.
if I
you
had
can
that full-
actually. The thing is, you can talk to me.
I mean, yeah, you could be talking to Echo while I'm in there.
True.
I think
Sort of why I had you stay out
Okay is one
there.
of the only people who is treating Echo like a person. Just like,
Yeah.
hey, talking to you.
It's just like.
Well, I figured
But-
best case scenario would be try and keep your company if nothing else.
I don't know, talk about magic or something. I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
too busy getting lost in this classroom.
Mhm. Which, by the way, while this lecture kind of recommences, you can pretty clearly hear Tyro and Echo talking and working through the door. And like you get the impression that they could hear everything you guys were talking about before you came in the door.
I'm just face falling.
Oh no.
It's like I'm just like, I want in there.
I know, but the problem is people are trying to learn things, and unfortunately, they need to be able to listen to the person talking at the front. And unfortunately, they can't do that sometimes, with various random noises, so we really should stay quiet
As
for the
everyone
time
just,
being.
yeah, everyone just hears.
Yeah, if you like, if you peek through like the window, whatever, you'll probably just see me glaring at you guys, just sort of like insinuating, "Shut up."
Mm,
I'm trying.
All right, and while Nell sits through a fucking lecture on introductory magic, Koke, hopping back to you here, you arrive at the White Enclave. What you doing here?
I'm looking for somebody who is here. Anyone?
As soon as you step through the front door of the White Enclave, there is a small desk with a woman behind it. It's kind of a one-building deal. Yes?
I need some white magic advice, and this is an enclave of white mages, right?
It is, yes. We have many dorms. You need white magic advice?
Yes.
Sure. I am trained in white magic.
Are you familiar with magic of the resurrection variety?
Yes, it's very powerful, very old sort of magic. Yeah, I'm familiar. Why?
Well, you see, recently I witnessed a mage cast some kind of raising spell on some soldiers over in the Four Kingdoms, and they got up, fine.
Yeah.
But later on, the same mage cast a spell on a young adventurer woman, and it triggered this whole thing. And I figured since I'm in the area, I wanted to know more about that. I'm interested in interesting magics that way.
Okay, you're talking about rage. You're talking about the 4th level white mage spell, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. See, these sorts of magics, they can have different effects on different sorts of people, and the sort is kind of the important thing there. It's not particularly well understood, but individuals with a greater role to play in fate and in the course of the faith, it can be a little bit harder to divert that destiny. People who perhaps don't have a whole lot to them, perhaps even people you don't even know their name, because why would you even bother to ask their name? They come right back, because why bother being without them? But when it's fate, when it's a big deal, it's a big deal. And you're talking about this adventurer woman, well, that's kind of how adventurers go sometimes.
I just want to make sure that I'm understanding this, but is it because they have big destinies that it's harder to sway them, or was it fate that this adventurer woman was to die then?
That's the part that's not very well understood. Some people say that it's the fate that the person dies, and that's why there's the whole, he kind of raises her hands, does the wubble in the air.
Mm-hmm.
The emphasis jazz hands.
But some people believe that it's the weight of the death, whether intended by a greater design or not. It's a subversion of that power.
If this woman was to die again,
Yeah,
the same thing would happen.
Oh, I should say so. The fact that she died and you brought her back, I would say would even more so exacerbate her sort of what's the right word?
Condition.
Not condition. Effect on the world. She's making bigger waves now.
And
sounds like a terrible ordeal you've been through, though. I wish I could help you more.
Assuming that I know that there are stronger levels of this kind of magic, but none of that has an effect other than, of course, the usual restrictions of time.
It changes, the amount of time that since a death has happened that you can greater windows. Some of them have more expensive reagents. Some of them can only be cast by extremely high level casters, but fate is hard to be cheated, and it will have its due, and that's sometimes the way that white magic is, and sometimes it's good to believe that, it's all for, and she kind of gestures to around her,
You've been a great help. Thank you.
Anytime. Were you looking for anyone in particular, or you just, and she kind of like points to like no?
No.
Okay.
I just had as I said, it was an academic interest.
Oh, well, have fun. Be careful out there. The students aren't supposed to, not supposed to cast at outsiders, but sometimes they're a little rambunctious, so keep your head down.
They might find their hands full if they start something with me.
Well, you look like a tough one.
Have a nice day.
Yep, you too.
Yeah,
And I'm just gonna leave.
just the oh yeah, I've got my fire. Oh yeah, I'm Leviathan.
Oh, that's a way to make them shit themselves.
I will fire to
Yeah.
you so hard right now.
Oh god.
All right, if that's how you want to play. Leviathan.
Twirl pounce.
I hope you brought a party.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna
hope
now head
that
back.
3 of their friends, hope that 7 of their friends are at a fishing trip just nearby.
I want to head back to the inn. Make sure that I look around a little bit as I head back, because I want to meet up with Vase if she's leaving or has left or anything. Because this was my my morning errand. Was finding out exactly what this was, and I didn't exactly want to say in front of her, "Oh, I'm gonna find out about that whole ritual thing, when you died."
Yeah.
I'm an asshole, but I'm not insensitive.
Meanwhile, Eleanor, what are you up to? You're still camped out 2.5 hours ago.
She probably would have just been hanging around in the inn until either Vise wanted to go somewhere or the sun had come up a bit more. And it's like, okay, let's go get the fuel now.
Visa seems to be largely along for the ride, but is excited to see the city wherever that is.
Okay. So yeah, after a couple hours, just kind of faffing around in the room, probably go ahead and get going.
Okay. So yeah, this around the time that Koki's in the White Enclave, around the time that after a little bit of the lecture at Ursamar ending, you guys are also departing the inn. So Koki, you're heading straight back after that?
Yes.
Okay. And Tyrone Nell, you sit through the lecture. It's incomprehensible. Tyro's very hard for you to hear through the door,
Yeah.
but you hear something about magics and elementals, and whenever you do catch a sentence, it's like, oh, well, yeah, of course. And then, like...
Yeah.
Well, obviously.
Out of the door walks a bunch of CR halves. Not quite mages yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as the lecture sort of ends, the doors open, you get kind of the post-swarm of chatter. You see a lot of people in sort of gray with red accents robes. You see some people in jet black robes. You see some people in sort of gray with blue accents robes. You see a couple of people in bright gold robes. And you see quite a lot of people in just solid gray robes. As they're
I would walk in while they're walking in.
as
As you just
Chocobo
go
enters
against
the
the
fire
flow
hose,
like an asshole.
like Chocobo clogging the flow Oh, was that a choke? What's he doing? Guys, there's a chocobo in the lecture hall.
Oh, God damn
Just
it.
rub my ass. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah, no, like imagine if you're
I
sitting there,
resigned
you know.
myself. The fact is like, yeah, I'm just gonna go with it. So once the rest of them
The
have cleared
doors
out,
are
I'll enter
open,
the lecture
and
hall.
they're leaving. So that must mean it's okay.
As they depart, I'm gonna stand up and
Mm-hmm.
head to my uncle.
As you flow up to the front of the class, kind of dodging the people down the corridor, you find him shuffling up a stack of papers in the front, like putting it in a binder. So it looks like you finally made it to the class. Your alarm not go off, or he kind of looks up and he sees you up close.
I'm surprised I didn't try
I
to
just-
make a second
I just
perception
throw a
check to
big
remember.
grin.
My God, Laura. And he kind of like reaches out for your hand. Is that
About
you?
my hand to him. It's been a while, Grunkle Oris. Didn't think it was that long though.
It's been a little while at least. Yeah. You've been getting my letters?
I have actually. I think the last letter I gave you, I was telling you that I was. No, actually, it's been about 3 years. I'm out on the road now, learning more about culture, people, history.
Well, that's
Great.
quite a trip that you managed to get this far. And is that a chocobo? And you lean behind, and you see as the students are leaving, this chocobo is coming upstream through the crowd.
Yeah, the
And
the
I'm
chocobo
going
is
closely
part
behind
of the
us.
crowd.
And you hear in the
Oh.
background, "There's a chocobo in the lecture hall."
Yes, actually, it's part of why I wanted to speak with you. It's a hell of a story, actually. Tyro, Echo, come here.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, sure. Why not? It's your bird's housebroken, right?
Mostly.
Yes, and she's actually pretty smart. Don't treat her like a regular chocobo. It's a little bit testy.
Okay. To each their own. Sitting there, the internal monologue. Yeah, everybody thinks their dog's the smartest.
As soon as I see like roll his eyes, I'm like, the bird can cast white magic on Grunkle. Give her some credit.
Bird can. That's a mighty peculiar behavior out of a bird, especially a regular old yellow one. And he kind of sees Tyra approaching, kind of like sizes him up. Ooh, who's your friend here?
I politely bow. It's like, I'm Tyrolee Lahant, a practitioner of red magic. It's a pleasure to meet you.
He holds out a hand. I think I would have seen you around here. Not a student, I take it.
No, I'm not. I actually just recently arrived with Nell, and I actually was hoping to find a particular professor, but I didn't see their name within the directory.
Well, I know every professor here. I happen
Well,
been here for a while.
I see.
Who are you looking for?
I am looking for a Professor Dices.
Dices.
Well, he didn't immediately throw you out, so
There's that. Yes, as I understand it, she mostly deals in older arcane magic.
Dices. I've heard that somewhere. Give me a moment. He kind of like pulls up
let
in
me
a book.
make a wisdom check.
It kind of like flips through it for a couple seconds.
I cast cunning on him. Lesser cunning.
Oh. Okay.
If
How
it's
much?
ahead-
How much does that benefit?
+4.
+4 to the stat, right?
You want
So,
to the bird
two
can
to the
cast
mod.
magic.
That's charisma, isn't it? Plus four
Cunning is an int.
Oh, is it it? I thought it was something else there. Is that Tarot too, or right, a cunning, or
No, charisma is like splendor.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
yeah, it's int. +4 to the stat, I think.
Oh well.
It's in here somewhere. He's paging through and paging through and paging through. Dices. Gosh. I know I've heard that, but she's not a professor here.
Oh really?
No. No, not here in Ursa Moor, at least. He keeps flipping. Dices Vium?
Did
To
you
be
ever
honest,
get another name?
I never got her last name. I
I have a little bit of information. She used to be married to a man by the name of Sid. I don't know if that rings any bells for you.
Sid. Sid. Oh.
Oh god.
good or bad result.
Just her
God.
face falls like, God,
Yeah, the old farts club.
God, I haven't seen him in so long.
Wait, you know
he
Sid?
is alive and well.
Yeah, I know him. So,
Did he even
yeah.
notice that I cast it on him?
Yeah, he did, and he's given you an eyebrow like this whole time. You've got a bird with buffs. That's
Yes,
quite a
Buff bird.
commendable commodity.
that it is. That it is indeed.
Does Echo understand what a commodity is?
Well,
the
step
cut
one, teach him
I'm a
currencies, then
macadamia?
teach him commodities. Sid. Yeah, his wife, I guess ex-wife now, Dices. That's what I remember. It was by her maiden name now, yeah, Dices VM. She's a professor. She's a professor of archaeology.
Oh, I see.
You'll see her. You'll find her over in University of Northern Moonbright. I got like
you
points.
cut out.
University of Northern Moonbright. And he points off. You guys hear me?
Theology.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, she was studying the old ruins and stuff. The kind of
Well.
a delver, you know.
I knew I should have asked the innkeep. Damn.
We're heading back there anyway soon.
Yeah, true. I see.
Sid. He's doing fine though, right? Like,
Oh yes, he's quite alive and well.
well, that's good to hear.
Yes. Yes, he was actually the one that suggested I come and see her for some instruction on some magics that I've been trying to learn, so.
Hmm.
Though I don't know how good of an idea it would be to mention that I learned of her from him, if you will.
Oh no, that's a good point.
I would
They not-
avoid it if I can, but I won't.
Tell her I
that
sent you her way. How about that?
Well, I guess that depends upon how common the spell is that I'm looking to learn from her.
You're looking for some of that old magic, you said.
Yes.
Something that...
More particularly, it's more commonly known as Dimension Door.
Dimension Door. I don't remember what that one is. Maybe something Sid was studying. Oh, could you show me?
Unfortunately,
See what
I
you
cannot
got?
with any level of Unfortunately, I cannot with any level of certainty. It's at best I have like a 35% chance of success with my
As-
current attempts.
As you say, I can't with any measure of certainty. I've got like a 35% chance. The biggest smile just comes across his face.
I knew these two were gonna get along.
A 35% chance, you say?
I've
That's a
made
pretty
about
high
9
chance
attempts.
to me.
Well, jeez. I've made about 9 attempts. 3 of them have succeeded. I don't
And Moonbright's underwater.
He swapped places with a guard the one time I saw him cast it. That helps. So
The
maybe it's
general
something you
idea-
messed around.
The
God.
general idea of the spell is being able to teleport oneself plus probably one other some set distance. The swapping was unintended.
Can you try it right now?
Oh God!
You've caught his interest.
I can give it a shot.
I
can
just
give
give
it
you a
shot.
look that says "I warned you."
I know.
If you show me yours, I'll show you mine. Come on.
Alright.
Haven't got all day.
And I'm assuming it's still the 2D100.
Yep.
I'm
yeah.
backing up like 10 feet, sort of like motioning Echo to like back up with me.
And as you're backing up, he's just leaning in like, I gotta see every
Real
minute
quick
of this.
question: how long do you think this is gonna take? The
Uh,
scene, like.
Probably just a
But-
couple minutes just for the outcome of whatever's going on here. and then-
I'm
Why?
really hungry. I want to go to the shop. So.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
be
Well,
back.
we can cut to other people then.
Okay.
It'll be fine. You just
Yeah.
go grab foods real quick.
Damn it.
81.
I know the 41
40,
would have given me.
44?
Yeah, 44. I feel like
What
I've
have
seen
you
44
had?
before.
44. You've not had 44 before. You had. I'm looking at all these nearby.
No, I've had 21. I've had
21.
21
You
was the
have had
swapping.
21. That was the swapping. It's like ooh, memory.
It's written down.
Ah.
You. I mean, like, not to say anything bad about his intelligence, but you think you think he wouldn't keep notes of everything meticulously about this?
You'd think. You would think.
But you
I know
don't.
what I
You just
rolled
got
a
a really
50.
good memory.
I know, like, I think it was like 51 or something. If I had rolled that, I would have caused like a thunderstorm or something like that. The 21 was the swapping.
Yeah. Correct again.
I don't remember what the number was for the enlarged feet plus the long hair, but whatever.
Ooh, sorry.
You're right.
Yeah, it ate a lot of grapes. As
Oh.
as you kind of raise your hand out and you focus on trying to teleport yourself over there. Come on, this time. In the sort of dark lecture hall, rising up around you, slowly, like just floating in the air, there's lights of just various random colors. Just filling the space like an planetarium, as very light music creeps in a kind of gentle ambience.
Did you summon like the fairy ball or some shit?
And you look around, and this is a really nice, just atmosphere that you've given this room.
I summoned disco.
As simultaneously,
Of all the
music.
times I've attempted this, every time I've attempted this, nothing actually horrible has happened to me as a result.
Hey, don't jinx it.
No, now you're in a disco. There's no escape.
He kind of looks around.
Well-
That's fascinating.
Yes, but not the desired result, sadly.
It's still a result. Think you
Yes,
could do
albeit
this
a
again?
rather random one.
Why did I have these two meat?
What?
I said, why did I have these two meat?
If you're sticking around until the 25th, we could really use this for the ball.
Jesus Christ. I just
God.
gotta raise an eyebrow. It's like, unfortunately, I'm not quite actually sure how I've done this. Unfortunately, the effects of when I've tried to use Dimension Door, it's a bit, well, random, as you can see. I've had various effects, everything from a beam of light, mostly resulting in purple, my hair growing 1 foot longer,
Mhm.
swapping places with another individual, my feet
Uh-huh.
growing larger.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, it's a
Taking
bit-
notes.
Yeah, it sounds like some old magic to me.
Yes.
Exactly, sounds like Sid stuff too. That old rascal.
Yes. But she's an archaeology. Okay.
But yeah, if you're looking to learn that stuff, it's his ex-wife. She's the one. Yeah, and she'll be over in archaeology. Here, do you have a map? You don't have a map? Here, I've got a map. And he pulls out a pamphlet, like a trifold welcome to Moonbright pamphlet. I keep these for a couple weeks for new students. And he circles the archaeology department. Whip on the map.
Grungle, actually, I have a question. You said you knew every professor here?
I do.
I don't. This might sound a bit morbid, but do you happen to know where, like, is there a specific cemetery, or is it based on wing?
Ah, a cemetery. A
Looking
lot
for the
of
graves of two former professors here. I heard.
Okay. What were their names?
I'm trying to remember what Jeff said. Tick Mayrose, Dr. Prattle Mayrose.
Dr.
They were in
Prattle
history and
Mayrose
geology, I believe.
They were in history and geology. Well, they're in a different school. I don't know them.
You said every professor.
Every professor in Ursamora, and he kind of gestures around. It's a completely different university. We don't have a department of archaeology or history or geology or whatever it was.
Well, you'd know more than me, but if you don't know, you don't know. I'll just continue
Ah.
asking around.
But here, come. That means that you're looking for, and he points to the map near where archaeology is. to the geology building and the history building in Northern Moonbright University, University of Northern Moonbright. You're looking for those areas. That's that college. You'll find if you're gonna find anyone that recognizes a pair of deceased professors or whatever they were, they're gonna be in there, not in here.
Okay, I'll take a look there.
All our dead are buried in at the edge of the forest. And he kind of points over his shoulder. What do you imagine is this on the map? It's
So
kind
if they
of a
taught
whole
in different
part of this.
section, they would be buried in a completely different area.
Yes,
Okay.
no, different universities, different cultures, sometimes very different rites, depending on person. Anything else I can help you with?
Not that I can think of. Okay, silly question. I don't suppose you've got any letters from my sister recently, have you? I haven't really spoken to her in almost as long as I've spoken to you, actually.
Eileen. Yeah. Yes. In fact, and he points to his map again, and he circles the chemistry building. Last time I heard, she was studying in there.
You've got to be kidding me.
Like, just down the road.
Shit.
Just down the road.
Right down the road. Can't miss it.
Right down the road.
Nobody's
Why
gonna
do I
get
have a
that.
sneaking
Nobody's gonna get
suspicion
that.
about this?
Ash would get it if she was here.
I'm actually sort of glad out of character now that I asked while she wasn't here. I completely forgot about that.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have a whole family tree lined out for Nell?
No, not really, actually. Like, I was just talking about this with her earlier.
Mhm.
I gotta work on some things later.
There's a bit of a family tree at where the branching is and stuff, which is
I
why
know
we
when
don't
branching
know.
is-
Which is why we don't know Grunkle Oris's last name.
I said you could pick whatever you wanted there.
Yeah, it just didn't feel right. He's just Grunkle Oris.
She's old and crouched enough I can probably do that. Crap, I should probably give her a visit later on. But first things first, Tyra will help out you out for. Oh, sorry, go on.
Oh no, I was. Yeah, she's happy. I'm sure she'd be happy to see you. I haven't seen her in. Runs his hand through like thinning hair. 9 months.
Well, I haven't seen her since you left home, so.
Well, I've seen her more recently than you have. She's a great young woman and a brilliant chemist. You'll get along splendidly.
Actually, I do have another question. What kind of person is Professor Dices in terms of personality, maybe?
See, I always was a closer friend with Cookie.
Wife is insane. Bail.
I'm expecting to be far more, how do I put it, rigid and not nearly as eccentric as...
I should say so, yes. That would be maybe the best choice of words. Cold, perhaps. Maybe a little hard. Something about opposites attract. The two of them were great together, but... I think Cookie, old Sid, is too wild for...
I can see... I can see how that would be. Somehow I'm not all that surprised, to be perfectly honest. Yes. Well, unfortunately, if it comes up, I will not straight up lie to her. That would probably be far more folly than...
Well, she's sharp.
And actually, yes, it would be a poor idea to try and lie to her about where I learned the magic. Or at least learned of the existence of Dimension Door.
Ooh. Knowing her, if you try to outline how you understand how to do it, she'll know Cookie taught you. I mean, Sid, I keep calling him Cookie. I wouldn't know that he's called Cookie for context, but they've...
I must say, Sid's instruction was very abstract, if I may put. I actually did receive an additional little bit of instruction from a dryad that I know of.
You found a dryad?
A little bit more linear, but it was still a bit more... It was still not quite the kind of
willing to
teaching method that I'm used
magic? That's ridiculous.
to.
Kind of
dryad
saved her
knew
from an
Dimension Door.
edgelord.
Yeah.
Is he...
Yes,
you've
this
had
dryad
quite
did
a
know Dimension
story.
Door. However, her method of learning it seemed to be a bit more natural than
Damn.
kind of in an academic setting such as this.
That's how it is sometimes with those old magics.
Yes.
Sometimes they're buried a little deep in the world when you find them, you know.
Yes, Cookie described it as trying to taste purple, while her
That sounds like
explanation
one of
was
his
trying to picture.
descriptions.
While she tried to describe actually picturing a place and actually going to it, which
Oh.
to me makes a little bit more sense than actually trying to basically make color a tangible thing, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's amazing you got as far as you did on those two descriptions. I wouldn't even know where to begin with that. Just end up
I am
electrocuting the
surprised
whole
by
room.
it as well, to be perfectly honest.
Sounds like you made some really high knowledge Arcana rolls.
I know, right?
Like really high.
You should see this
Well, I
guy
didn't
blow
roll
things
that
up.
high with Cookies, I can tell you that much.
Yeah, no, Cookie, that was hilarious. Yeah. Y'all need anything else,
well,
or how long are you gonna be in the area?
Probably about, I don't know. I don't know how long it would take to learn Dimension Door. I know we have a room rented for up to 2 months, but that's...
Yeah.
I don't
Short
imagine we'll
lease,
be
then.
staying the full 2 months.
Oh. Quick in and out. That's maybe a little
Yes.
rare here.
Well, unfortunately, we have other matters that we need to attend to as well, so unfortunately, time is a little bit of a luxury we don't have.
We have kingdoms to save.
As we talk, by the way, I'm like slowly inching towards the door.
Yeah.
But
And
I'm-
he kind of walks out, like as he sees Nell kind of inching away, he walks out with Tyro. Just like talking with the two of you. Well, hope you find her. Be careful. She's you know. And seriously, stop by your sister. She'd be happy to see you.
We'll just have to do some other things. Thank you for letting me
Okay,
know she's
okay.
here.
Yeah, everyone's got their own lives.
Never thought I'd
I
hear
bow
that, but
courtesy. It was
okay.
a pleasure to meet you, good sir.
Mm-hmm. And as the pair of you kind of walk away, he kind of grabs Nell by the arm and kind of pulls her back in. Yeah, we
Wait,
really
what?
seems like a really nice boy. Eh?
Like Nell just has like bread.
He's a cat. I'm a mouse. This kind of can't work.
Have you seen the racial difference?
I would kind of appreciate the poetry here, really.
A friend.
Okay. By the way, I'm here. If you're here, if he's maybe sticking around the Dimension Door, I can teach you some elemental magic before you head out. Just sit
I'll
in for
be
a couple more of
completely
those
honest.
lectures.
I did not catch a single word of your lecture. I am so sorry.
You can't come in the middle of a course. It'll be harder that way. You gotta,
I just wanted to take out my violin. Have you forgotten?
Yeah.
This is
the
more my
bard
thing.
stuff.
Have you forgotten that I'm the family disappointment?
Fuck you! Would you rather I be?
Look, in a family with a tenured professor and essentially a chemist, a chemist, a doctor, you're fucking running off into the woods playing a violin.
Actually, if you want to do family disappointment, both myself and sister are the family disappointment. We were supposed to, one of us, stay home and do the family business. Yeah. Both of us said fuck that and left.
But I mean, can anybody if your family business, right, is like shoveling shit, and one of you's like, nah, fuck that, and you go and become a doctor, can anyone really be disappointed at that?
Yes, because Mother's a very,
be
very
able
much
to,
a
and
homebody.
Mara, yeah.
But
no, she's not happy.
what is Chef doing?
Yeah, what is Chef doing?
I have been waiting for an opportunity to do something while everyone else has had their cool moments.
We've had Cookie's cool moment, and she's at the shop and walking back. Tyro, Nell, and Echo had their little adventure, and they're walking back. Chef, what are you doing?
How much time has passed since the time we got from Chroma Square to there? How much time has basically passed?
Would
you say?
Like an hour and a half, maybe. You guys caught kind of the tail end of the lecture, and then you talk with Cookie, and you're sleuthing around.
4.5 hours in the meter. We're using those on the way back. I only summoned 2, and then basically the time gets divided by half because I have a maximum of 12
Yeah.
hours for a chocobo. So
Is
Yeah,
Echo
you're still
following
good
us?
You did have plenty of time. Presumably, Echo's still following you.
Yeah.
You there, Trick?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just, unfortunately, I couldn't, manage to find a way.
I
to
want to do a
learn
lot of
the
talking.
light. Yeah.
He does give you a pet as you all leave. Like, stayed outside. You and
By the way,
your good
he
old
said that out of
magic and-
earshot, right? Like Tyro or Echo didn't hear what he said.
Tyro, make a perception check. Echo, make a perception check. Both of you.
Why didn't I say anything?
perception
That's
plus.
a very
oh,
good
God,
point.
that's
I
not my
mean,
perception.
it's when you're a
fucking
few
stupid
paces
eye.
away. Oh yeah, Tyro. Echo was on that.
I'm imagining
Tyro was fucking on that.
I'm imagining
Holy
the bird song, the quick work quick.
Oh God.
What is? Oh God damn it!
They were
Now
all
I'm so curious to
probably like 5 or 6 steps away, and like he tried to whisper, but like they're both really perceptive, and they just honed in on that.
I'm just gonna keep my head down. Like, let's just go back to
My ears
the
just gonna perk up.
end.
It's like, huh? Wait, what? Just see you walk. It's like,
We're moving now. We're moving.
Chef.
right. Right.
All right.
Yeah, chef.
So-
Under
What
my
do you
breath
do?
in Mithrin, I'm like,
I'm-
she did warn that he was a bit eccentric. Yeah.
I'm headed to that little star.
Mm-hmm. All right.
As soon as everybody else just pisses off to the star.
Okay.
Yep.
Chef exits, and you walk down the streets and corridors, and the world slowly becoming more familiar with each step.
Decide to turn that store like right where we're heading, anyways, to find out about your graves.
Some of the buildings are very different than you remember. Some of them are much taller, specifically. Some are mini stories taller. But the rest of it still has that sort of old brick, timeless look. You know?
Mm-hmm.
You round the corner, and there it is, just as you left it. In whatever state you left
Ah.
it in.
With a door flung open and just exactly as it was left.
Basically.
Welcome back. You missed a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely
A
nothing.
whole lot of
Thing to
nothing.
miss.
We're moving on to the chef's part anyway.
Presumably
so,
the door is
Being a
closed
disco
here.
ball winning a lecture hall. Yeah, it was great.
You
Are
also,
there any
front-
are there any open windows facing the street?
the
Like
front door is boarded over. The street-facing windows are largely broken and then covered.
wood covered?
yeah, wood
like
covered.
this house has been ransacked.
You notice maybe one window's got enough window left that you can still see through it.
Yeah. I'm having a peek.
You peek inside.
Do I need
You can better make a perception check to discern anything in particular.
I'm just gonna take a 10 for an 11. I don't like these dice.
With an 11, you peer into the door. The thick layer of dust is on everything. It's there's a sort of gray light, a little bit of orange coming in through the cracks, diffusing. It doesn't look like anybody's been in there in quite a while.
Is there any easy way for me to go in?
The window that you're looking at, you might be able to break the remaining glass and get in that way. Otherwise, you might be able to pull the wood off from.
Break the one remaining fucking good window.
it must match all the edginess.
Don't put yourself on that edge.
As
Would
you're
would
kind of standing
11
there.
on a strength check.
Sure. You pulling it open?
Trying to pull some of the wood off.
Okay. With an 11 strength check, you grab the side of the wood and you tug and you tug and you tug, but it's nailed in. Like you would need a claw hammer to get this off. Outside of a
Wait a minute.
extremely high roll.
Wait a minute.
Why did
I-
perceive a-
Have a crowbar.
Oh no.
And here I thought you were gonna take the bear trap, have a claw, like dig into the board and pull on it.
You have a
Nope.
crowbar.
Nope. I still have a crowbar from the first session of the campaign.
This is why you always
Y'all
get
laughed.
carry a
Y'all
crowbar.
laughed at me. You all laughed at me.
I'm still laughing right
Okay.
now because it's
You-
actually coming into use.
Finally, the broom dungeon.
Yeah, you pull out your crowbar. You see the wood. You see the nails. You stick your crowbar right in there. One arm, pop the nails out because that's literally what this tool is built for. Any human with arms could do this.
Glorious.
I don't
as
think
if
you
he
even need
knew.
arms. I think with the dexterous leg you can probably do it.
All right, well, I'm peeling the wood off and I'm
Okay.
moving on in.
Yeah. As you pry your way in, you hear like as you're kind of stepping through the window here. You going in the door? Or you going through one of the boarded up windows?
Going in the window, I just pulled the
Okay.
wood
Just
off of.
pry the wood off. You're going in the window. You hear behind you as you're stepping through. Hey there, lad. Where you going? Oh,
Am I like already in?
yeah. You're like one leg in, one arm in. Like you could just duck inside in a moment.
How do I handle this situation without becoming the most wanted rat in Moonbright?
Intimidate.
No, I'm just gonna look around, pay them no mind.
Okay.
Ignore tactic always works.
Yeah.
You step in through the window and 2 feet down onto the ground.
Wait,
Dust kicks up.
You were prying the boards off the window or the door?
The window.
The window.
Yeah.
Window.
Okay.
He unboarded up one of the windows and he went through. And luckily you didn't cut yourself on the edge of the glass.
I'm in full plate.
You're in
like,
full plate and are very used to being around edge anyway.
You just wanted to make that joke.
Yeah.
Be out edge the edge.
It's the spool up.
Ow, the edge.
As you glance around, it's largely what you remember. You notice some of the stuff in here has been cleared. Some things are missing, some of them are valuable things. Are you going down?
Well, yeah, I suppose. Having a peek.
Okay. As you kind of creep your way downstairs and you kind of like peek into the basement, you find what you guess was once, but it's kind of faded, a paint outline on the ground down there.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of like glance around, and you see broken chains and
Yeah.
it as you
But
remember
it's
it.
mostly just as it was. Well, I'm gonna loot my own house.
Okay. You
Look for anything left of value, like I don't know, pictures if that's a thing in this universe.
Maybe you had a secret compartment where you kept your most.
you would've
My
left with
most
that.
secret edge.
Would have left with the edge then. But you glance around, you find some stuff. I'll generate you up a mundane loot list, but it's any household item that you would have imagined the Mayros family having is there for your grabby hands to grab. You find family photos.
I don't think.
For instance.
I don't think there would have been anything like heirloom worthy that wouldn't already have been taken.
Unless they're hidden compartments.
You for instance find a picture of Dr. Prattle, a side tick, both very young, in a sort of half embrace, looking into some sort of device.
I'm gonna cut that in half and take the half I care about.
Okay, you tear it right in half. You see another picture in much higher sort of image clarity of yourself, but much younger.
Nah, just gonna leave that.
But otherwise, you find maps of
That
the
part of me
molten
died a long
sea,
time ago.
and you find, yeah, yeah, you find pots and pans. You find house stuff. You find a sextant and a watch, for instance. You know, as the weirder stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I may as well take those. Fuck it.
You gain a sextant and a watch. You are much more capable of navigating if you knew how those devices worked.
Hang on a second.
Yeah. You know, for like the past hour, I've been just watching this like spider wrap up a ladybug,
Oh, so sad.
just like up on the ceiling.
Aw. Why is the ladybug still alive?
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that.
But yeah. You loot what you loot.
Just gonna Sexton and a watch.
You glance around. Nothing in here. Nothing that you can see.
Yeah. With a heavy sigh, back out the window.
As you kind of step out the window, that old man that yelled at you is still standing out in the street, just like looking at the house. You find what you were looking for, looting in there?
I'm gonna call the magic cops on you.
There's a nod.
Well, when you're ready, you know where you're supposed to be looking. And he walks away. And walks. You see him walk past a lamppost and doesn't come out the other side.
All right,
Whoa.
fucking Mr. Fortune Cookie.
Wow.
And I'm gonna take the board I pried off and try and hammer it back in with the end of the crowbar.
Bap, 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 bap. It stays. It probably would just come out by hand now, but it's there. No crime, no
Yeah.
time. Back away.
Yeah. I have no idea what else they want to do in Moonbright, really. Not until Nell comes back. They got no money to go hit up the foundry.
Oh.
So it's like Eleanor is V's keeping Eleanor like on a sightseeing trip.
On
for-
a leash.
For the sake of that, Vis and Eleanor, what are you doing today? Rewinding back like 3.5 hours.
I've been plenty comfy here in my chair. It's fine.
As we zoom back to the inn, and you watch time pass and the dust slowly covering everything, Eleanor remains plastered into her chair. I ain't leaving this chair.
Nope, not getting out of
This is probably going insane. Like, I need to go somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
like in the background of the time lapse, you see just every second Vis is constantly changing position around Eleanor at high speed. As Eleanor just remains constant.
I'll be back in a minute. We can go have some fun.
Okay. Oh, good
No,
lord.
I'm not.
Anyway.
I'm not actually gone.
I know.
I'm just
know.
meaning. Yeah.
Probably would have been let's go get the fucking fuel.
After a little bit of waiting, Koke would be the first one backtracking because she didn't have to sit through a lecture, and would probably be hitting you guys as you're exiting out and heading down the main road. You'd probably hit each other around there. I will mark
Okay.
this.
Is it still morning or is it like afternoony now? Well,
You're beginning to
getting
push
into.
into the afternoon. You guys got up at like 8 or 9-ish. You're kind of hitting the 11, 12-ish now.
Yeah.
Should
Having
make
V's
that-
keep her hood up.
Oh, hey.
Oh, good afternoon. Where were you?
Alright, hit the the Enclave. Had a few questions, was all. Nothing important, really.
All right. I was going to check on getting the fuel. After that, V's wanted to sightsee, so.
I mean, I don't see why we can't sightsee the whole way there and the whole way back.
I guess not, Princess.
I could, I'm no longer busy. My morning appointment, as I'll call it, is over and done with. So, I mean, I could take it to sightsee if you just want to go and grab the fuel and make it a quick straight line trip. You know, efficiency and all that.
I mean, I'm fine. He looks at she looks at Eleanor being like a little bit uncomfortable. I'm fine with I mean, it's over in Moontech, right? Moonbright Institute of Technology. That's got to be something. Or all that big snake did kind of attack it.
And Koke's just like, I'll show you a big snake.
She's just Koke's quiet and just kind of
Oh, we know something's wrong now.
just
Right?
in this really kind of not her usual self way.
Right, she folds her arms and seems to mull it over.
Okay. As V sizes you up. Oh yeah. Something up. Okay.
Magic is a burden.
Like a day ago, you were telling me how great it was, and you wanted to teach me. Why is it a burden
I mean,
now?
blue magic is still fantastic and fine, and I'm still willing to teach you. It's just also magic can be kind of a significant. I'm thinking a lot. That's all.
Okay. Well,
I can tell you
if you
about
gotta
it later if you want.
if you need to talk about it, I'm right here. Yeah, that would be nice.
But have you been forming different opinions about things, considering we have other spellcasters in the party?
No.
I see.
It's worry and fear, Eleanor, if that's what you want to know.
What's going on?
What happened the other night? I feel bad about it. It was predominantly me that wanted to bring Beast along.
No, okay. I wanted to come along. I wanted someone to tell me that I had a reason to come along. It wasn't you, it was me.
I still feel like I've enabled it, but it's not. I thought that I could fix it
You did
if it
fix
ever happened. Yeah, but I might not be able to do that every time.
Yeah.
She's going to rub a hand through her hair, unfolding her arms. But Princess is still alive because of you. Even if you were the one that convinced her to come along.
Okay, just gives you this like passive shrug, just.
She's gonna walk up next to her.
You're not gonna punch me again, are you?
No.
Good.
She actually gives you a smile.
And then they kiss. No.
Why is going as a thing right now?
Right in front of these, like.
Yeah.
She's
The
just like,
cookie's not gonna
oh,
complain.
Yeah. I'll have you know, I was very hard to tame growing up.
Oh, God.
Anyway.
I can show you wild.
Anyway, she puts her hand on your shoulder. Go show the
have to, like,
princess a good.
bend
Go
down.
show the princess a good time.
Oh
Um,
dear.
And
Oh
she gives
dear.
you. She cocks her head and gives you the guard's eye. Right after.
After midnight, things turn 18 plus in here, yo.
Well, I guess I can't turn down a direct order like that now, can
All right. I'm going to go check on the fuel. She'd look over her shoulder. Princess, stay out of trouble. Your father would kill me if he knew something happened to you.
Yeah, I'll be good. I mean, I'm getting stronger here.
Absolutely.
Eventually, I'm not gonna be so easy to, And she makes a little punching gesture at you.
Make sure you do that. I'm expecting you back at the inn before it gets dark, young lady.
Okay,
She
I'll
says
be back.
sarcastically.
Jeez.
Alright, and then she'd start walking off, doing like a little wave with her hand. So she's heading to get the fuel by herself.
As I switch Eleanor Weiss over to Eleanor, and Koke over to Koke
Separating
Weiss.
the party.
Sorry, we sort of just went like in complete opposite directions.
Everybody scatter! Scatter now!
Koke just kind of like deflates a little bit, like smaller than small.
How much of a trek would it be to? Oh God.
Yeah.
Off
Yes,
you
it
go.
is.
15
Okay.
miles. 15 miles if I can go through every building Assassin's Creed style.
I mean, with your acrobatic score.
You probably could.
I mean, with my acrobatic score, I could.
Actually, no, it's more like
Of
3
course,
miles because
it
it's
would
usually
be-
5280 for.
Yeah, it's about 2.78 miles.
Actually,
Oh,
quick
that's actually
question.
not that bad.
Echo, still awake?
That's his that.
Never mind.
Womp.
Never mind.
You know, fucking the only issue is not going up; it's coming down, and coming down on some of these buildings in full plate armor with the the roofs that look like that. I think they might
Like
have
that.
dinner
Oh,
guests
hell.
dropping in unexpectedly.
I was gonna ask Oris real quick if he knew where the White Enclave was, so I'd give Echo something new, but if they're asleep.
Put
I
him on
kinda-
the right path, though.
I kind of want to just park Chef in like Magitech studies or aerospace engineering lectures.
How can I be more aerodynamic? Next time you see Chef, he's got little winglets on his armor.
That's what the spikes are. They're aerodynamic. Shut up.
Right.
Very spiky wings.
Me. Yeah.
I mean, I've got one rank in knowledge technology.
Got more
One
exciting.
rank. Hoping to expand my knowledge so that I need more skill points, because God, they're a rare commodity for a martial class.
You're the only person who knew about elevators. I think that's already a step in the right direction.
But that's more due to backstory than actual skill checks.
Don't take this from me.
I've lost everything else.
Are we? Is Vis and I near a alleyway?
Oh,
Yes,
no.
You are next to an alleyway. You're also next to the satellite history campus. Not history satellites, as in like a satellite campus for history.
Is it? If I pulled her into an alleyway, how visible would we be?
You could pull her down the side street you're next to, and then into the next alleyway to your left.
It's broad daylight, woman.
Not 100 feet away, but you could, in 2 turns here, get to Sketchville in no time. You could become invisible for a moment if you desired.
That is exactly what I desire.
You go
I
down the
will.
side street like 20 feet, and then turn into the corner next to the building, and you're tucked in a crack. Oh, okay. Oh, hello.
Listen,
Yeah.
the reason why I'm just so, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, pensive about everything is I turn into Leviathan.
Whoa.
Just noodle around her. As Leviathan.
That thing.
Outside of,
But wow, that.
yeah.
We saw
And I
tanks
mean-
destroy that thing, and now you're a worm.
I mean, I'm pocket-sized compared, but I mean, I'm used to that anyway. But I don't feel any different.
What do you mean? I mean,
I
you
always-
should feel like a snake lady right now.
I mean, yes, I feel like a powerful creature. I feel powerful, but it's not what I thought it was going to be. When I
Hmm.
set off from the step and had my heart set on gaining this kind of power to protect my people, I thought it was going to be more than this.
Oh. Well,
And with what happened the other night and realizing after going to the White Enclave that it's possible that if it happens again I can fail.
oh,
I'm just
well, yeah.
I'm just a bit lost, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I go back.
One of the days when I was out, running around in the city when I was a little girl, I remember when I was hiding.
Thanks.
And I remember hearing some little girl talking about how amazing it would be if she could be a princess of Lullen, if she could, you know, and she kind of brushes the tops and tips of her ear. I remember hearing that, and I didn't really understand, because being a princess of Lullen was terrible. And I couldn't imagine that being able to get that would be what she expected. And then I got to become an adventurer, which is what I'd wanted to be. If I had been lowborn, I could have been an adventurer right away. I could have run off and, you know,
Yeah.
of course, as soon as I started adventuring, first it was great. We saved my sister. It was all dramatic. It was dangerous. We killed a bunch of spiders in a cave somewhere. Then we fought a bunch of low-level cactars in a desert, and I died. And
Yep.
maybe being an adventurer isn't everything I expected. And I don't know. I'm trying to just work through this in my head here, but you know, maybe it isn't always what you want it to be, and I mean, I'm not giving up here.
I can't give up. I've come too far to
Well.
turn back now and have it all be in vain.
Well, then don't give up now. Just keep going. I mean, I died. It was terrible. It was actually very, very terrible.
Do you remember anything?
Maybe flashes. I remember voices. It feels like the memories that I had were pulled out there. Like I was there. It's like, you know when you wake up and you can't quite remember that dream, and you remember it, it was so important, but you can't remember the dream. Like, and the harder you kind of push, you can't get it back. It was like that, but, you know, worse. That's what being dead was like, and I don't want to do that again, but I'm pretty sure that if I keep doing this, I'm going to get to the point that that's not going to happen to me anymore. And I've seen what you guys can do. You're throwing magical elements around. You're transforming into gods right in front of me. Like, that's where I'm aiming now. So maybe, you know, you lose it, but then you just give yourself a new goalpost. if we had a sport in Lullen that used goalposts, that I could use that analogy.
I do understand what you're trying to say. I always thought that such a lofty goal would be it, the one to hit. I never expected to get this level of power so relatively quickly into my journey, I must admit. I was only away from the step a few months by the time I rolled into Lullen and all this started.
Yeah. But I guess it doesn't feel too powerful, does it?
It's powerful, but it's not the kind of power I was hoping for.
Well,
I was hoping for people saving, army stopping.
Well, in the time I've known you, you've stopped an army and you've saved people. And that
But
was
I
with
didn't
that
do it
was
alone,
before.
and that's my biggest problem.
Well, then maybe you don't have to do it alone. Or maybe that doesn't make you worse for having done it with people, and maybe I want to be part of those people.
Oh.
Working as a group ain't that bad.
As far as tribes goes, mine's alright. Well, we're not doing much sightseeing in an alleyway.
No, it's quite dusty. Yeah. Here, I'll. Is that way? Okay, yeah. And shuffle out of the alleyway.
Dust stuff off.
Calling it soon. It's past 1.
Yeah, we can be pushing it for close here. We're at the 3 hours and a minute mark of this episode. Is there anything else anybody wants to do before we close of the evening?
I was just gonna say, like, I just do time, force say a typical smile, and it's like, don't let everyone else know about my worries. I have an image to maintain.
No, I get it. This is fine.
Momentary weakness. It's a common thing with you.
Well, let's hope that keeps up.
Nell's got like 2 to 3 things to do. Thanks, Oris, but that can wait till next session because holy shit, it's been a while.
I guess that depends upon if you want to follow Tyra over to the archaeology department.
I gotta go over there anyways to deal with like Chef's little mate.
Depending on.
Yeah.
I just want to appreciate. I just want to appreciate that, like, Koke not being her usual self. Like, I kind of want to talk to you, like, alone. Like, it's like, I'm so glad that I have a brand. Your foot, you're wrong.
No, I mean, like, if they run into like Eleanor heading towards the office, like Nell might go with Eleanor, but otherwise we'll be heading back towards the end in archaeology and whatnot. But
Odds
like I
are
said, I
you're
can
probably
wait.
gonna run into Eleanor if they're making a beeline.
I'm beelining for the
fuel. Yeah, your odds are going to run into them.
That can like add like another 30 minutes to an hour though, so I can probably wait till next session.
Yeah. We can bring it to a close here with Chef still hunting stuff down and leaving Nell on a little search, Tyro on a search of his own, looking for Dices. Aline is somewhere in here. They're just fucking playing major tag up in Samara. And yeah, there's a lot going on in a lot of different directions here, and I suspect we're probably going to get a lot more split party time next session. But for the time being, we'll call it here for the night. It's already 2 a.m. on the East Coast. Thanks
7
for anyone.
a.m. here in the EU.
Yeah, different. In Australia,
5 p.m. here.
7 p.m. Yeah.
Time zones.
Thanks for everyone that stuck with us to the end, or even if you're just watching it in the post on YouTube. We will see you next time for another episode of Final Fantasy Pathfinder next Saturday, 7:30 p.m. Though usually it ends up being more like 8. Bye, everybody.
No.
Bye.
Yeah.